Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Oh, snap, this saying I better not be eating mango. I got a show to start. Oh, snap.
Man.
Oh, man. Oh, man, they're loving the thumbnail.
All
You
right.
seen the thumbnail, Craig?
Yeah, sure.
I saw
Yeah,
it.
that shit
Funny.
was funny.
Yeah.
That shit was
That's
funny.
funny as hell.
Okay. Yo,
Hey,
SPR is
it
crazy.
was funny till I zoomed in on the right hand side over there. I was like,
I was like, whoa.
yeah. It was all
My
fun
man,
and games until I glanced over there.
my man getting his my man's getting his Instagram shots in.
But hey, that
Oh.
dude funny as hell, man. He be making the best memes.
Oh, for he
Yeah.
gets
The
some
best,
good themes out there. And the
yeah.
seasonal, like he knows how to do it with the season. The shit is hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to
It be
SPRX.
on point.
Yo, it's in the chat. Yo, SPR is in the chat, man. Give him some love, bro. Follow him on Twitter.
Absolutely.
He absolutely knows how to hit the season and the themes, bro. He does that shit all the time. Shit is hilarious, man. I really thank you. I love that, man. I love that about him, man. It's just funny,
Yeah.
man. He's just great, man. Great support of the channel, man. I'm glad we're able to entertain you and stuff. Oh, but good shit, SPR. Give him a shout, give him some love, man. Yo, it's another yo, SPR is crazy, bro. Every time. Oh man, but hey, welcome my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend these YouTube streets, Puerto Rock 77, and we're back with another episode of 60 Frames No Lag podcast. A podcast where we get the realest of the real, and we talk about all things in gamings across PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC, third-party industries, and all that good stuff, right? Some of you, let me tell you something. I have to make that initial statement. So, what I learned is I took some boot camp classes on YouTube algorithms and shit like that. Believe it or not, you have to do that in your videos. That's part of the algorithm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like you have to
Yeah.
that's
I've
like
been
you
saying
have
it
to
for about 2
the
weeks.
first they said like this like within the first minute you have to say what the content and stuff about. If you don't, it hurts your algorithm. I'm like, what the fuck? Like seriously.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. So, like for example, all those episodes where we started out talking bullshit and like sports or something, like off topic, right off the rip, without mentioning, yeah, that hurt the algorithm because now YouTube's confused. Like if we talk sports, YouTube's gonna think, wait a minute, are you trying to reach out to sports guys or?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm like, shit. Sometimes we did 10 minutes of bullshit.
I know, right?
It's like, yo, there's a lot of things. There's another thing, the file name. When you upload it, I say if you upload video, the actual name of the file is part of the algorithm. Like if you just leave it all those weird letters, it doesn't help. They want you to rename the file and rename it like the topic or whatever. I'm like, because they use all these data points so that YouTube can try to send it to the right audience. So they use your voice. They use like they use like the first minute of your audio, the name file, the title, the description box, all these things combined together. The algorithm tries to be like, all right, who you want me to try to send this to? What's the audience? Whatever. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. And then when you don't have them all aligned, the algorithm is like confused. Like, bro, what are you trying to do? It was crazy. Okay. Nah, Powerballs. Hey, shout out to Power. You're good. Like to me, that's personal. I'm gonna leave it alone. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, bro. I'm not like that. It was funny. I don't say no. This is between me and Powerballs in the chat. Me and Josh was like, "What the fuck just happened?" But we're just gonna leave it there. I'm not nothing crazy, but it was just like, what? But it was funny. It was funny, and Josh is like, "What the fuck happened?" Like, so no, don't worry about it, Powerballs. That shit was funny though. You were probably thinking, "All right, I gotta go, guys." Anyway, guys. Hey, thank you so much for rocking out with the channel with 60 frames no lag. We got the crew up in here. Hopefully, we'll have Extreme. I haven't seen Brain in a while. Brain, if you're out there, you don't have to come to the show. I just hope everything's okay with you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he said Discord. Brain said Discord's not letting him in. Yeah, he said it's not letting him in.
Hold on. My bad. I forgot. That's my fault. What it is I reduced how many people are allowed to come in only because when I do like a debate, I don't want nobody to jump. Because I have a lot of people that can just come in whenever they want. But when I do a debate or have a guest, I lock it to just me and a guest to 2 people. Yeah, so that prevents somebody like going crazy or whatever. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I know I do a free invite, but certain times,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to leave it to
You know,
common
you can
sense.
if
You
you
know what I
create
mean? I'm not going to leave it to common sense.
If you can create a separate thing. Well, you don't use you're using Discord.
Yeah,
You can
but I
create
don't
a
do that
separate
shit, man.
thing and only invite that'll be your your debate.
I don't know.
That way
I
you
don't
don't
know
have
how
to
to do
do
that shit. I don't know how to do that shit, bro. I don't know how to use because still to this day, I don't know where to go to look for messages. People say, "Yo, I send you a message Discord." I'm like,
you can tell Puerto Rock old school when we first started. We started podcasting on the PS4 and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
We ain't changed much.
I remember them days. Yeah. Everybody's like, man, we gotta get on. We gotta get on.
Yeah, listen, I don't know Discord. I only jump in Discord when it's time to go live. Other than that, people got to walk me through it, bro.
Not even that. I had whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
We were using Google Hangouts, man. That was
Google Hangouts was the shit.
Yo, when Google announced they shut down Hangouts, I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I remember that.
I gotta figure out OBS and all this shit. I'm like, fuck.
Well, I still use StreamYard sometimes.
Yo, StreamYard.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
They got a lot of stuff you can add. I just haven't done it.
Yeah, we got the brain in the house.
Yeah, so
but the brain is kind of low as well.
I'm low.
What's up, brain?
Well,
can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's just he low for me. I didn't know if he was just low for you guys. I mean, as well.
Nah,
okay.
I'll turn up my mic. What's going on, everyone?
No,
what's up, chat? Yo, y'all have it. I saw your debate. I'll get to that once you bring it up. But as far
we'll talk about that. We can start at the podcast. We're obviously going to do a roundtable, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. But what's up,
okay, man? I'm good, man. The reason why you haven't saw me is for two reasons. I meant to jump on last week, but with all of the rain and my kids still playing baseball, a lot of stuff got pushed back. So when we got back in around like 8:30 on Tuesday, I was like, shit. I know it's the podcast, but I can't do it because I gotta make dinner and it was my turn for bath night. I just said, man, fuck it.
Man, do what you gotta do, man. Family comes first, bro. Family first all the time. All the time. Yeah.
And then secondly, I finally got to doing some projects around the house. So I told y'all a couple of months ago I had to do my whole entire roof. And now
that's not easy, man.
Yeah, you know what? This contractor, I lucked out that the contractor that I use, we grew up together, so he ain't charged me an arm and a leg, so I was good.
Nice.
And then he put up a privacy fence for me because in New Jersey, like if somebody trespassed on my property and I got a pool and they drown, I'm liable. So I gotta get a fence and shit and put up signs and say no trespassing and all the other bullshit.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's in a lot of states. That's in a lot of states. You're lying. Yeah. But good point. Yeah, I'm glad you did that. Yeah, that's good.
So that's what I've been doing, man. Just taking care of home.
They don't hold people accountable for their own actions. I kind of nothing, bro.
None.
Like you can never be responsible for your own stupid decisions. Always somebody else.
No.
Well, you can be.
You're a grown ass man and you drown in my pool and I'm at fault. You a grown ass man. You a goddamn. Why are you even in my pool?
Yeah, what they would do is a grand jury would indict you because that's the law, but the prosecutor won't prosecute. Like if you have a statement from the police, oh no, this was a trespasser. You have it like on a camera. And
I ain't taking that chance.
Yeah, you got to take that chance with lawyers and spending all that money.
Yeah, you did. That's what would happen. I
can understand investigation. Fine, I'll do an investigation. But why am I going to trial?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think he would, but I understand.
We'll say negligence on your behalf.
Yeah,
you should have took care of the robbers and the trespassers.
You should have stand on guard. Have a sentry. 24/7 by your pool. Shoot them on sight. Like
shit, in Jersey, you can't even do that. You can't. You have a duty to retreat. You do not have a duty to defend yourself. So if someone rob my crib, if you rob my crib, I'm supposed to retreat.
You supposed to leave your crib? There's no stand your ground.
No.
Going to the closet or something. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's castle.
Listen, I'm from Texas. It's on.
It's different in Texas. Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
I'm going to Florida, so you know how they do.
Yeah, we got signs to say please. We got signs to say please come in. I dare you.
Florida's more than stand your ground. It's like I wish a motherfucker would state.
Yeah.
Florida's
makes me miss.
I wish a mofo would say something.
Mhm.
It makes me miss living in Pennsylvania between the trying to go. Oh my goodness, man! Like, man, you from
That's
New York, and
wild.
you know how tough New
Yeah.
York gun laws are.
Oh
New
yeah,
Jersey
man.
is probably second, and having to get a gun. In order to even get a gun, I got to get a license to buy a gun, and then got to get a license to conceal the gun, and then I got to get insurance for the gun. And I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from Philly, so I'm going through all of this bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like,
This doesn't make any
oh
sense.
man. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Florida's like, I wish a motherfucker would. Please do it. Oh shit! But anyway, all right, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're around, my brother. All right,
Thank
J
you.
Dub.
Yes, sir. What's good,
What's
y'all?
going on?
What's good? Same old, man. A beautiful day, a beautiful week, especially for gaming. Got a lot of gaming topics. Which to launch week is launching tomorrow, and nobody talking about it.
Wait a minute, it launches tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 11 p.m. Yep.
11 p.m. Yep.
Oh, that is wild. I didn't even realize it was tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, 11 p.m. Yep. Crazy.
Okay.
We got PlayStation came out with a state of play. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna whine and cry and complain about watching that. What else in game? You know, Xbox has its the Summer Games Fest thing is coming up. You know, it's man. Listen, this is gonna be a fire week. It's gonna be a fire week.
It felt like everything just came all together, crashing in one week.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, it's not bad. Right.
You know, sometimes man, the news be dry in these streets. There don't be no news to talk about. And then all of a sudden it's just overwhelming with a lot of stuff. Then we got Death Stranding 2 dropping and a bunch of other games coming out. You know, it's a pretty good time to be a gamer.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So okay, cool, man. All right, brother. All right. Craig, what's going on?
Yeah. How you doing? Doing all right.
What's going on? How's everything?
Can't complain. Can't complain. Got the humid stuff coming through with the weather. We got the rain, we got the tornadoes, now we're getting the humidity. So typical Kentucky weather. But shout out to everybody that's here. Shout out to the chat and you guys, and yeah, we can get it going. J-Dub's right. There's a crap ton of gaming news, including the cheap busting that happened today with CD Projekt Red, dropping more knowledge, dropping the beautiful demo. I did finally sit down and watch it. It was impressive. That was impressive.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Hold on. Let me get all this ready. Where's it at? But we're gonna start with this, all right? And I'm glad we'll start with Brain since he brought it up. I don't know if you guys got to watch my 8-hour fucking debate. I swear to God, that shit went faster than I thought. I didn't realize.
How did you survive 8 hours with the shit this guy was saying? My God.
Listen. Jesus is an important figure in my life, and I try to live how he does. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like, he said, good for you, stuff like that. But I would like to before then we do the super chats, because this goes right into it. We'll start off with Liquid Data. He starts off with, it's because it's a 2-console market. That was a catch. That's gonna be that's a phrase he needs to coin. Oh shit. Okay. Gordo P23, thank you for the super chat. Says big week, 3 days of PlayStation showcases. That's gonna be awesome. Liquid Data in Maryland. We have Castle Doctrine. What does that mean?
Castle mean
stand your ground.
What's a castle?
No. Castle is you cannot go outside of your home. That's your home is your castle. So in Ohio, there was a girl who was being bullied and harassed, and she left her castle and went out in the streets to go, and the police ended up unaliving her because she had a knife. Well, had she stayed on her property, and the girls that were bullying her came up on her property, she could have done what she wanted. That's castle. Stand your ground stand your ground is different. Stand your ground is that's what Florida has. Yeah. And then you have Texas has stand your ground. Plus they have mutual combat laws. You can still challenge somebody to a sword fight in Texas. Well, you can to the death. You still can.
Well,
It's in their constitution. But yeah,
well,
but that's castle. That's castle.
Yeah, it depends on your state and the rules, because I know here, if somebody's in your backyard, there's no problem. You can unalive, you can do whatever you want. But if they're in your front yard, you can't,
Right. In
unless they
Texas, you
come
could
in your house.
challenge. You could do it to a sword fight.
Yeah, do
What
it.
do you think you are, John Wick? Texas, bro.
In Kentucky, you can do the draw thing.
Yeah, J Dope Quick going on over there. Like, what the
Right.
what we doing here? J Dope Quick. Oh snap!
Right.
They going Keanu Reeves all over Houston.
But they brought back the firing squad in a couple states. Just, I mean, it's so that you have your choice. You have the chair, you have the needle, or you can have the firing squad. So, but yeah, that's just different states. But yeah, like I said, let's get back to gaming because I only have like another hour before I take my Ambien and go to bed.
Okay. Oh, so he's taking an Ambien. Okay. All right.
Man.
We got William Ortega. Oh, we got J Hart. Yeah. Shout out says, let the cheek clapping begin. Oh, man. Break out the Diddy oil. Oh, damn. William Ortega with a $1 super chat. My man's just hooking us up. I appreciate it, William. Gracias, hermano. And then we got Brandon holiday style with a $5 super chat. Brandon's like, got this fever kick in my butt, but I had to catch the show. Still waiting for Craig to accept my college football challenge. Yo, why are you ducking?
Last Saturday, me and J Dub were on playing Helldivers. I said, just look me up on Saturday.
I don't know, Brian. This is
I do remember that. Yeah,
this is like the second super chat. The man is challenging you, and he's putting his money up. He's like, bro, you about to get this Texas? He's like, you're gonna get this Texas A&M, dog. You're gonna get this Texas A&M, dog.
Last Saturday, Memorial Day weekend, I was online. I mean, me and J Dub were playing Helldivers. I'm like, yeah, if anybody else wants to join in, we did it all off and on. So I was there. Just waiting on him. Just add me, and we can play.
Well, what's your PSN?
I'll give it to you here. 1-800-WHOOP-ASS. I'll look it up here.
He doesn't know.
All right. I thought he knew. All right, I'll give it to him. Yeah, I have to look it up myself. I'll look it up here.
Okay. All right. Well, how about this, Brandon? You put your PSN in the chat.
Yeah, then I'll join him.
Put your, and then he will send invite you. And then next week you let me know. You let me know. In fact, live stream it, Craig.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's not like I got any shit else to do. My fucking Knicks lost, so.
Oh yeah.
I might as well, I'll watch some football and shit.
No,
how are they gonna get rid of the coach already? I never
saw that. They fired his ass.
No, okay. So I will quickly say, in fact, I agree. I'm gonna tell you why. Right? I'm gonna tell you why. Tibbs is good for what he did. And I congratulate and I will thank him. But his coaching style will not result in a championship. Let me put it this way. The best way to explain Tibbs is the man won't even play 9 players on the field in a game of baseball. In baseball, you have to have 9 players. That's his style. His style is like 7 or less. He doesn't like 9 players, right? He's just never did, right? And that's fine for the regular season, especially like if you get new people together, like what we had this year. We had Cat. Huh? Okay. All right. So, you got Cat together, Mikal Bridges, you have these new guys. So his style is a great way to get a team to gel in a year. And that's happened. They got 3rd seed and they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. The problem is in the playoffs, especially when you play a team like Indiana that runs and guns every game, your guys is going to get wore out. You need to go to the bench. You have to have a bench strategy. He doesn't have that. He has no bench strategy. He doesn't. He doesn't know how to nurture his bench and be able to keep up with tempo. It's different when you do the regular season, right? Because some games you're going to play like the Washington Wizards and all these other bullshit teams. And like, sometimes you'll sit out after the 3rd quarter because you're smoking them, right? It's not a pressure game for 82 games. But in the playoffs, especially when you play a good team like Indiana, you are hustling for 48 minutes and you don't have a depth bench. And then God forbid somebody gets hurt. Oh man, then you're really screwed, right? He doesn't have that, so he's not going to change. I think they need a new coach because to me the team is good. I know there's talk about blow up the team. That's just grifting because you can't. The team made it to the Eastern Conference Final on their first go around together. That's a good team. They just need to work on their weaknesses, not completely dismantle them. But Tibbs is not going to do that. He's not going to condition the bench to be a bigger role taker. And I don't think he's the type of guy. We need a coach also that Tibbs is also, he doesn't like check his superstars, if you know what I mean, right? So I need a coach that's going to go to Brunson and tell him, hey, you're a great scorer, but I need you to be double digits assists this year. Like Brunson, I think he averaged 7 assists a game. Nah, I need 12 from you. I need you to dish out more often. I need you to include the other players.
Who's that third scorer? He ain't gonna get no 12 to 15 assists if they don't have a consistent third scorer.
So that's the problem. Mikal Bridges was supposed to be that guy. When he played in the Nets, he actually had a higher point average with the Nets than he did. That's why they gave up 5 first-round picks, because they thought Mikal Bridges was going to be that 20-plus averager again, or 19-plus, but he didn't. But he doesn't get the ball as much. And then you do that for 82 games, you can't turn on that switch like, oh, Mikal Bridges, start lighting up the floor. He didn't play like that for 82 games because Jalen Brunson was the big scorer. And then if it's not him, it's Cat. You see what I'm saying? Tibbs never fixed that. He never fixed that. He never be like, yo, I need Mikal to be used to getting up there and getting the ball and doing his thing too. So there's like a little bit of imbalance on the team, and you don't notice that in the regular season because you're going to play some weak teams. You play a lot of weak teams. You play some good ones. But to the playoffs, that's when everybody realizes, oh, shit, we have no depth bench. Jalen Brunson kind of hogs the ball too much. Mikal Bridges, one game he'll drop 20, then another game he's 9. And it's like, what the fuck? And then Josh Hart, like in the playoffs, he looked lost because, again, he's so used to giving the ball to Jalen Brunson. I saw moments where, like, bro, you one-on-one. Take that dude to school. You one-on-one. Mm-hmm. Take him to school. Instead, Josh is, like, looking around to pass it to, motherfucker, take him to the hole. It's like, you could get that dude. You see what I'm saying? So there's things I'm like, man, like, Tibbs, you need a coach that could fix all that stuff. You need a coach that could tell Josh, if you one-on-one, fucking smoke him, because you could do it, especially if you're facing a bench guy covering you. Like, get out of here, bro. Take it to the hole, right?
I got you.
So by him, I was hoping, like, I'm glad they fired him because, like, the days before, I'm thinking one or two things going to happen. If they keep Tibbs, then that means they feel the team is messed up. If they fire Tibbs, they know the team is good. They just need a better coach to capitalize on the team because he's not going to do it. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking, man, I hope they fire Tibbs. Not because I'm an asshole, because I think the team is fine. He's just not going to take them there. His coaching style is just not going to do it. When they fired Tibbs, I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Because the team is good. They made it to the Eastern Conference Championships on their first go-around. You got to develop the team, too. They got lessons learned. They got things to develop. They're going to look at the tapes to be like, damn, we could have done this better. We could have done that better. We could have relied on, we need our bench players to actually be able to play and, take up some time. Because really, Tibbs' style, when the bench goes in the game, is pretty much don't let it get out of hand. Just do the best you can until I could put my 5 guys back in. That ain't no fucking goddamn strategy. Like, what the fuck?
Well, that's you're not gonna win a championship.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, what? You gotta play 9 players.
You just hoping the bench players you put in doesn't get out of control. Like, no, they need to contribute. They need to, put up some bench points off the bench. But that's not his style. His style is, I'm gonna put in, some bench players to give my guys rest. Try not to fuck up the game. Like, try to maintain the lead. Like, the fuck? And then when you go to the playoffs, that shit gets exposed. And guess what? The Pacers knew what to do. They knew their best. Their number one defensive scheme was around Brunson. That's number one. And then number 2 was Cat. Mm-hmm. You had nobody else because that's what the Knicks are used to for 82 games. You can't work.
They needed that. Yeah, but I got you. I know you need 3 scorers out there to win the NBA title. You get away with that in college, Florida.
So I'm glad. Not that I'm glad that he sucked. He's great, but he's good. He took him as far as he can go based on the play style. Yeah. We need another coach that comes in, looked at what they have, and be like, "Listen, this is what we need to fix. You guys are good at this, but you need to develop this." Jalen, you need to develop your passing game. We need to have more schemes to give opportunities to score, so that way it's not all on you. That way, if they try to lock you down from scoring, you now have the ability to facilitate and get other people to score. I will also develop Cat to work on his inside game more because he's a great shooter, but he doesn't realize he can score on the inside, and it's hard to stop him. And he just doesn't do it a lot. So I'd be like, you need to score, and he needs to play a little bit better defense. And Mikal Bridges needs to have more confidence to be a scorer. He needs to get in there and score more, But Jalen Brunson needs to facilitate that, set things up for Mikal Bridges to be up in there and get his points game, right?
Yeah.
But that's crazy. But anyway, so I look at Extreme. He's bored as fuck. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?" He's like, he says, can we talk about breakdancing?
It's not even the real football.
They say, no, we're not even talking about football. We're talking basketball. We're talking about basketball. So to be fair, we're talking basketball.
Wait, this whole time you were talking about basketball?
Yes.
No, I don't trust it.
Football. American football season hasn't started, so that's the next pain. Because my Giants suck too, man. It's just, this is just shit.
You guys are sports obsessed.
I'm just gonna shut down the podcast, bro. I'm gonna shut down the podcast. This is miserable. This is one miserable. You know what, Extreme? How you doing, my brother? How's everything, man?
You know what? It's okay. It's getting colder, as you can see from the get-up.
I can see. You look like Grimace. That purple outfit, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you. This is my pimp outfit for the winter.
The fireplace going.
It looks comfy.
I know, right?
That thing looks comfy.
It certainly is. Certainly is comfy.
Man. All right. Okay. It's good to have you. All right. So, hey, we're gonna talk about real quick, and we're gonna start with the brain because it bring it up. All right. We're gonna. I want your guys' thoughts on the debate I had on Friday. I don't know if you guys were able to see or how much you saw of it, but whatever you did see or whatever. So we'll start with the brain because I know because that was the first thing that came out your mouth. So it's clear you got something. So go ahead, brain. Let me know. Let it all out. Give me the critique. Listen. Give it all.
First of all, that they're saying the lion, the tiger, and the donkey went to court, and the lion was the judge. Well, you was the tiger because you was the fool arguing with a donkey, Rock. I don't know how you did that. And this is not a knock against you at all. First of all, the fact that you had, I'm not even going to call it a debate. I'm going to call it a schooling for 8 hours. I don't even work 8 hours a day if I don't want to. I don't know how you had the patience to do that shit. I looked at it for about 4.5 hours and the whole entire time. And I'm going to get to the main point. Matter of fact, I'm going to say the main point. I don't know what's going on with with some of these fanboys, and I'm gonna say fanboys just because of the fact that they list the influencers and fanboys are so influential or rather so pervasive. You can't even have a standard definition of what something actually is. For example, exclusive. I heard about 5 different fucking definitions to the word.
He kept changing it.
I don't. Yeah.
It's like, yo, this it was silly. It was silly at best, and it was really effing bad at worst. 2, I never saw somebody deflect so much in my life. Like, you would ask some simple fucking questions, and then I don't know if you was getting frustrated or not, but I guess you was 2 steps away from saying, well, goddamn, how many times do I got to explain myself? I just told you exactly what it was. Like, you keep on bringing up what did he keep on bringing up?
I know the budget. That right there blew my mind. I'm like, this guy doesn't know what a budget means.
Oh, like, no.
I was out of everything was that. I was like, this guy doesn't know budget. Like, oh shit.
It was just comparisons. He was making comparisons between saying that, it's the same thing as far as, watching Stranger Things on Netflix and then it's being ported over to Blu-ray or DVD. That's not what a port is. What the hell is you talking about? Like, who own? Like, does somebody else own the DVDs? Last time I checked, if they did come out on DVD, Netflix owns that shit. That's very intellectual property. And then I was like, man, a better comparison would be if he was to compare Pepsi to Coke. But I'm not even gonna get into all of that because I lost brain cells, listening to that. But as far as like and then when he said that that he used to sell weed, I said, well, there we go. And I sent this in the super chat, but I don't think you liked it. I said that he got the correct picture of the fried cat for his
Yeah, I
for
saw
his
that. No,
yeah
yeah.
yeah the fried cat, because that's how he's sounding. And then once he said, oh, he should sell weed, I said, well, there we go. I was like, you know what, man, it was a rock, man. I was ready to debate you because that was horrible. Not on you, you did great, but as far as with him, it's like it was like you was talking to a, I can't even say a toddler, because toddlers understand better than what he did.
Okay.
And those are my thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, is it me or does the brain sound like Stephen A. Smith, like
Oh,
on ESPN? I swear to God, he's like, that was absolutely ridiculous. And I'm like, man,
it
I feel
was.
like we're on ESPN First Take. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Brain is out here getting his Steve Smith impersonation. Oh, Stephen A. Smith out here. He's like, that is absolutely ridiculous. I seen children. You know how he is? That's the Brain right there, bro. He's our resident own Stephen A. Smith. That's awesome. But thank you for I appreciate that one. We're gonna go with Craig, right? Because I know he's gonna take his Ambien and his old man nap.
Well, I mean,
You have
again,
any criticisms, thoughts, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, I fell asleep and I woke up and it still said live, and I just thought it's, when you have YouTube on and it will still say it even though it's not. I clicked on. I'm like, they're still talking. I mean, what are they talking about?
It's a
but
commitment.
that guy was so stupid. He would sell his car for gas money. I mean, that's how stupid he sounded, and I don't get it. At this point, what are they talking about? But yeah, like I said, the guy was so stupid. He'd sell his car for gas money. I mean, that's how dumb he was. And I just think these guys, gas money. Yeah, because that's how dumb he was. And it's just, I don't know if he was just on there being silly. He was just being silly, or he was purposely, because nobody is that stupid. I mean, literally every time he said something, it was just like, this is like listening to a 6-year-old talk. What is he talking about? So, but he just, again, he embarrassed himself. At the end of the day, he embarrassed himself. And for other people to say, well, they're going to come on, why? I mean, why? I mean, it's just, what is there to talk about anymore? Like J-Dub said, Microsoft got ran up out of this business. They're now, putting games everywhere, which is fine. But I don't know what is to debate. Okay? I mean, what is left to debate? So, so for me, it makes no sense. But shout out to anybody who still wants to do debates. To me, it makes no sense at all. That kind of went away like 7 years ago. People stopped, almost half a decade ago on that. But yeah, shout out to you, Porter Rod, for even staying in there that long. I do not have that patience. I can readily admit it. I don't have that patience, and yeah, like I said, you have to, good grief. Praise Jesus, shame the devil. I mean, it was that bad.
All right, shout out to Liquid Data. It says, my take on your debate, dude is not a gamer at all. I was going off in the comments. I know Liquid Data was raging. He's like, what the fuck is happening here? Gordo P23, Josh Edis did irreputable damage to the PC community that day. Oh, wow. And William Ortega, that guy you debated must have been high. There is no way he didn't understand a budget. All right, Joe J-Dub, any critiques, thoughts? What's up?
Listen, man, I watched about an hour of it.
Critique me too. That's fine. I need to hear the criticisms on me, stuff like that.
All right. So here's the thing. I watched about an hour of it. Clearly,
Whoa, what happened? Oh man. J-Dub pulling a Josh at it.
Out of all these 50-90s out here, somebody got to have a little bit better, debating skills. But another thing, Puerto Rock, brother, it went on for
out of all the 50, he said out of all the 50-90s, somebody got at least debate.
Listen, I could only do about an hour, and then at that point, I got to the point like, yeah, I can't take it anymore. And I don't know, and I don't want to knock the dude because I don't know him. But my God, like he was, I don't know, man. He was obviously out of his league, but basic shit he didn't. One thing about it, what I will say is not a critique. I think because you had 8 hours, I think, and maybe we can find somebody here in the community or somebody in the back who can chop it up and take the best snippets or the best clips and you can do the YouTube Shorts.
Mm.
Set them on a rotation going
Yo,
around because
but
that's
there's
a lot of shit, dude.
yeah.
That's a lot of shit.
I
to
would say a
decipher
good
through and go
portion of
through.
it, though. I would say a good portion
Yeah.
of it was his internet. We spent a lot of time. Hey, you
Yeah.
hear me? What's going on? Hey,
Yeah.
hey, you there? And then he has to repeat
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I think that took up a lot. We couldn't get like a
Yeah.
flow of conversation through. So yeah, his internet really,
Well, and that's another thing. Hey, listen, if you're gonna debate somebody, you have to be well versed. You coming up there and you can't. People don't understand what you're saying, and you don't understand what you're saying, and you can't really repeat yourself, and what you're saying doesn't make sense. And then the shit that you say is, you turn around and then you change what you're saying. It's just, bruh. He was just not the one. He was just not the one. I'll be honest. You gave him kudos to you. You gave him way more time than I would have gave him. I would have gave that brother about 30 minutes and be like, listen, this shit is over. Yeah, that's just my opinion. And I don't know. It's a lot of, like I say, it's a lot of good snippets that can come from that. As far as like being funny and flipping and poking fun and stuff like that. But my God. It kind of remind me, of game shows.
Cyborg, bro. Get up in there.
It actually reminded me of some of Game Trailers debates.
Oh, geez,
if you ever, it kind of reminded me.
His grandma, he got his chewed out by his grandma.
Yeah.
Yo.
Walk that damn dog live to the debate, bro.
Live on the debate. Oh my gosh, shit was so funny. His grandma chewed his ass
hilarious.
live during the debate.
Yeah.
His opponent was like, "Oh man, this guy's getting yelled by his grandma right now."
Yeah.
The damn dog. I was like, yo, only
He's
on
I'll be back.
channel.
I'll be back.
Yeah, then he just
I'll be back.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Only on Nixon's channel.
Can't his 50-90 go do something about the dog? They paid all that money.
Yeah.
So these guys are so stupid. They throw a rock at the ground and they would miss the ground. That's how stupid they are.
Yo, but his grandma came in riffing because he didn't walk the dog, and we heard it all right in there.
What's he doing at his grandma's house? What's he doing at his grandma's house?
Yeah, he
living there, man. Like, yo,
there you go. That 50-90 is supposed to buy. That's supposed to be magic. It's supposed to get you a new $280,000 home, and do something with 50-90, man. You all went out and bragged about 50-90, so what the fuck, man? That's all I can say. But go ahead. I know
that was funny. That was funny. We were all there when you heard that. I'm like, yo, hilarious. I love Nixon's channel. That only happens on his channel. Somehow he attracts the weirdest dudes, and they all something, man. Something always happens.
Hey, we always say that, man. We always say that. Where you find these dudes from?
It's something about his channel that attracts the craziest shit that you ever see in gaming, bro. When that dude's grandma chewed his ass live in his air, she's like, "You really want the goddamn dog? He's about to shit all over the place. Get your ass off that goddamn computer! Walk the damn dog! All right, grandma, can you give me a few minutes?
Man,
walk the damn dog!"
Oh man,
that shit was over before it started, man.
Oh my god, she lit him up. Grandma was not playing, bro. Get off
somebody got to clip
computer.
That. Somebody got to clip that because I mean, you got a PC guy.
That was years ago. So I can't even remember. All right.
Like I said, that's terrible.
Okay. Anything else, J-Dub?
No, that's it. He was just he's a horrible debater. He's a guy that you can tell he just talks shit on the internet, but he doesn't really, have the skills to back up shit.
All right. We got the Genius says Hooked on Phonics didn't work for him, sadly. And Gordo P23, Astro Cyborg actually said he liked you after this debate, but I think he's just afraid of the smoke. Oh snap! All right, Extreme. I saved you for last because I think you will do like what was the movie critics? Ebert and Siskel and Ebert.
Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, you will Siskel. You're about to Siskel and Ebert this debate. Wait, I got 5 points.
Listen.
Oh, here we go.
First criticism.
Listen. This is how we start. He got the amount of criticism is dependent on how many times he said listen. He said 5, so we're in trouble.
We have a lot.
Oh, here we go.
The first thing that we're gonna acknowledge, okay, is that wasn't a debate. That was a Twitter conversation. Because if you really think about it, that shit read like you were just reading a transcript off of Twitter. The incoherence, because here's the thing, the internet problems obviously were a part of it. But when the deck is so full, the internet problems weren't even 1% of the problems. Okay, listen, that was a Twitter conversation. That's what that was. He was incoherent as fuck. And I mean incoherent within his own thoughts. That's without you even countering or saying anything to him. Like he would switch from one thought to another at random intervals. Like you just didn't understand where on earth this guy was coming from. So it wasn't a debate because a debate requires intelligence on at least one and a half sides. You know, there needs to be something there that a person can make a thought and then follow that thought through the arguments that the other person presents and then come back and still be on the same train of thought. Because as soon as you said something that would what is it? That would counter his first point. Like when we talked about the PlayStation 1 example, this guy changes it and then he's trying to make it about something else altogether. And I'm like, wait, what? And then you have to be the one to then remind him of what his original argument was so that you keep him there, you know? So listen, that was that was the thing. That was the thing. I think you need a moderator for these debates too. I don't know how listen, I listened to about 2 hours. I don't know how you guys push this to 8. Even with the internet issues. How the hell did that get you 8 hours? There needs to be what is it? The debate, you need a moderator, a neutral third party, you know, that's going to keep everybody on point and keep everything sharp. And then after that, there should be like a post debate, like free for all, where you can just go over all the topics without any any time limit, without any care for timing. So I think that the main debate should be about 2 hours. Like this is it. This is like nice, straight, sharp arguments. Everybody, you have 3 minutes to talk, 3 minutes to rebuttal, and then like 5 minutes open discussion for each topic. And then after that, debate is over. That's the main core. And then you guys can have like a post debate, just conversation, and that can go back through everything. But it means that for the audience, those first 2 hours, they're going to be solid, they're going to be focused, and everything like that. Also, get into the thing. I'm sorry, I know that you want to welcome your guests, but I don't give a fuck about them. I don't care about the gaming history. Like, get into this debate, okay? People are here to see the action. You guys spent an hour and a half of intro. Like, you didn't even get to the first thing. You're talking to this guy about his gaming history. That's an hour, man. Listen, man, you're like listen, do you know what a debate is? It's like watching like Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. We want to see them box, okay? We want to see the fight. We don't want 1 hour of like the preview where we're just watching them, you know, get warmed up and everything. Everybody just wants to see the rounds go. Is it just me? Am I too impatient? That's my thing. That's my thing. I'm like, listen, give it a nice 10 minutes. You know, who are you? What do you do? Why are we here? Okay. Then let's get into topic 1 immediately. Let's just get this shit going. After 2 hours, man, you can go back and you can talk the shit for like 3 hours. I don't mind, because then I actually had, you know, what I came for. I'm satisfied. I saw the debate. I saw the Friday Night Live, you know, the main action. I saw the Super Bowl of whatever it is that I wanted to see. I don't know. Me, I just prefer introductions and context like that after the fact. Like when I've actually been satisfied with what I came to do. But you guys made me wait a full blockbuster 90-minute movie before you started talking about the topics. My goodness, man. Come on now.
To be fair, before you get the Ali fight, you have to watch the 3 Mexicans fight.
Nah, but
you gotta get these undercards. You're gonna get these undercards. You ain't getting the big fight. You're gonna get these undercards first. You're gonna get Bantam lightweight champion fight.
Then
you know, 15-pound guy versus the 115-pound guy. You watching that fight?
Yeah, listen. Then you know what you should have? You should have mini debaters, you know, to warm up to the main debate. Okay, just have a good old have like a who was it? Have like a gas versus somebody, and then and then you can be the main event.
Get some pre.
Exactly. Get some pre-debate arguments going so that we can see.
Get to do James versus Astro Cyborg up in
there
here.
We go. There we go. We can do Oliver Darko versus Paris. Like get some. Do who is it? What was it? Who would be a good one? Get a Doc Dark versus somebody. Everybody.
Get like X-Volt versus Doc
Dark.
There
we go.
shit.
We can get some of the chat members in on it. We can have like a good old. I would like to debate Aaron. As one of these things. Aaron. Come over here. We'll do it. We'll get 10 minutes to warm up the people for the mainland.
Up in here.
Exactly. We should do A1 versus Trucknet. That would be fantastic.
It's the same guy. It's the same thing.
That's what I know it is. I know in my blood, in my DNA, I know it is.
It's the same guy. Okay.
So yeah. I think getting to the debate faster, that would be great for me.
I would say, okay. All right. So hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate the chat. All right. So but I want to say consider this. The first point, and this is the reason why I asked, you guys are right in line with some of the responses I got in DMs, criticisms, this stuff, right? So I just wanted to address it so that way people can understand. The first part, get good debaters, that's the thing. I don't think most of these guys who talk are good debaters at all. Right? So the reason why I open up the debate is so that way we can prove. Most of these guys who talk and talk shit on Twitter, they don't know shit. That's why most don't take up the debate. I was surprised Josh took it. He just didn't realize the one thing I can say about Josh, he didn't realize who he was or whatever, so that's why he took it. He really believes in what he believes in, but he doesn't have much knowledge. Most of these guys who talk on Twitter, that's why when people say, oh, Porak, you don't know shit, whatever, all right, come through, debate. Yeah, they disappear. Most of these guys can't debate. Most of these guys don't have the knowledge. You, Extreme, I give you said it correctly. It felt like a Twitter discussion because that's how most of these guys in gaming, that's how they talk now. They talk like they're on Twitter. The only difference is on Twitter, you don't notice it's stupid. You don't notice it because it's Twitter. But when you translate that over to a live debate, that's when you realize, oh my God, this guy don't know what he's talking about. If you look on Josh's timeline, he talks and makes the same silly points, but the difference is he has supporters, you have people hit the like button. It doesn't sound that stupid because it's broken up into tweets, and most people don't read tweets in a row. They just look at that one thing out of all of that, so you can't really tell that point is stupid in and of its own. You have to get the context of the conversation. Most people don't do that. But when you listen to him in full thing, you'll be like, what the fuck is you talking about? You can't tell until you go on the live. That's why I do it. Because these guys think they saying something. All right, if you think all this shit you do makes sense, do it behind the mic. And then it totally collapses, right? So I know some people, say, hey, Porter, you got to make sure these guys know what I'm talking about. That's the thing. I know they don't know what I'm talking about. But how do I show everyone they don't know how to talk about? You got to put them behind the mic. You got to see their flaws. So that way people can start realizing there's a lot of uninformed gamers in the community that don't know shit. They just survive because they're on Twitter. They just survive on Twitter. So you really don't show. But once you pull them out of Twitter, or once you pull them out of their echo chamber and you put them inside, a live debate and having talk somebody in a conversation, it all falls apart. Most of these guys, I'm going to be honest, some of these guys, I think right now everybody's going VG Fight School, whatever. And I'm like, so I invited them, we'll see what happens. Maybe, maybe not. Right? But the way I see it, this is how I see things. Twitter is no different than let's look at it from a perspective of actually fighting. Let's say like a boxing match. Twitter is the shit talking, you're safe behind the keyboard. Your own podcast where you're in your own echo chamber, that's like showing a video of you sparring in a gym by yourself. You're hitting the bag and you're like, yeah, look at me, I'm gonna fuck you up. Then comes fight night and now you got punched in the face. Now it's a whole different ball game. Mike Tyson said it best. Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Now everything changes. The Twitter, the shit talking, the videos, the podcasts, all of that don't matter. Now it's live. And you don't know, so that's when people get exposed. That's when you realize this motherfucker don't know what the fuck he's talking about. That's why some of the podcasters who have echo chamber things, they don't do debates. Because that's where they'll get exposed. That's when people realize, oh shit, this motherfucker really, this shit don't make sense. On Twitter, it's fine. When they do their own podcasts among friends and nobody challenges them, they're fine. But once you get in the ring and you get punched in the face, everybody's going to be like, oh, this guy sucks. You'd be surprised how many people are just going to suck coming in a debate. I can't control that. All I could do is, if people talk shit and they think they know it all, come through. I will let you talk. Have the conversation. You know, give that rope and see if they do something with it other than hang themselves. There's none of that. So I know one of the biggest criticisms, like, I got to find a better person. That's the thing. I don't think there is. I'm telling you, I could tell most of these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about from Twitter. They just, again, survive because it's on Twitter. But put them behind the mic. That's why I invite them, because I know they're going to fuck it up. I know they're going to suck. I know it. I can see it. I'm like, and that's why I do it. I'm like, bro, you know, even the ones that are good, like Hebot, you know, he reads, he has some knowledge, but I think he's too much a fanboy that Hebot's weakness, he fanboys for Xbox so much that his ability to learn shit interferes with it. I don't care how smart you are. If you're dead set on fanboy for Xbox, you're going to fail because you chose it for the wrong reason, right? But I opened the floor for Hebot to come through. Now he's making excuses on he wants it on his channel. Like, what the fuck? I opened up for VG Fight School. But you'll be surprised when you get into live settings. Listen, the bell rang, ding, ding, ding. Now you got to fight. You'll realize, man, why the fuck is this guy even a boxer? You'll never know. So I can't really control who's good or not. I can't even control if they have good internet. I'm like, man, it's 2025. Like, you don't have good internet, like decent internet or something. Like, you're an editor. You know, I would say that's very frustrating. I'm like, man, this guy's internet is really bad. Like, shit, you know. But I can't control who's good or not. I can't control how well they articulate their train of thought process.
That's very ironic you said that, because for a supposed PC guy, they supposed to have the 5090s and the best rigs, the best internet and everything. How your shit janky? Come on, man. Frogs.
You know, that's why I don't take them seriously anymore. I can't, because I mean, when you can talk all you want to, but when you see software running on the hardware, and that's all people can at this point. That's all I talk about now. Look at the numbers. I'm gonna be talking about it tomorrow. Sony crushing it with that Witcher thing that they had today, and they made a point to say it was running on a base PS5. And the PC community said a couple years ago, when all that stuff with Grand Theft Auto, the leak happened, the hack happened. No, that was on a high-end PC. And then they do the new trailer. Literally says right there, legal disclosure, captured on PS5. What do they say? Rockstar Games is lying. Today it was don't trust CD Projekt Red. Even though the PC community told everybody, if you got a beast rig, get that Cyberpunk. CD Projekt Red is awesome. That has now turned into don't trust CD Projekt Red. Because they're just getting humiliated. It's like day after day, they just get humiliated. Like, it's stupid. You know,
I would say this. Like I said on a video that I pulled up, I say there's two people at fault here. One is the gamer themselves. You got to give them personal responsibility. Like, if you want to go beyond just playing games, like you want to get into talking about exclusives, multi-plats, consoles. This console sucks. My PC's better. It could do all this. And you want to talk frame rates? Okay, fine. But at least put in the study yourself. You know, read stuff, read a little history, actually get educated yourself, right? Some of these guys don't do that. What they do is they pull up a content creator and they just listen to that content creator and they just absorb their words. They don't even fact check it. They don't check to see if it's valid. They just like the content creator. That content creator is funny. Oh, man, that's cool. Because I have a feeling a lot of Josh's points was Alex's point. He just said it poorly or really don't understand what Alex was trying to say. He just repeated Alex's stuff. And I think some people noticed it in the chat. They're like, wait a minute. This shit sounds like Alex is, like, if he's trying to talk Alex. So, but the problem is, even Alex gets some of the points wrong, too. At least if you're the originator, you can argue your own original point, but don't argue somebody else's point that you don't fully understand. And that's happening a lot in the community. A lot of people's points, they're getting it from podcasters. They don't realize their favorite podcaster sucks ass and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm going to be honest. They're learning bullshit.
Hold on, your favorite YouTuber. Oh, I got you there.
Yeah, you're listening to a YouTuber that grifts or make up shit or placating to audience to get the most views, super chats, and they just saying shit.
Bingo.
And you don't know,
Bingo.
Yeah,
yep.
They take your super chat money.
Yeah. So they like the content creator knows what to say because they know that's what you like to hear. So they're just telling you what you like to hear because it makes you feel good, and then you're gonna hook them up. You're gonna support the channel and all that stuff. But what you're not noticing is they're not telling you what you need to know if you're interested in knowing about gaming. That way, when you leave the YouTube video and you're on Twitter or you're talking to people, you're talking the right shit. But you're not. You're talking bullshit on Twitter, but because it's Twitter, no one's calling you out, right? On Twitter. In fact, you probably have other idiots that think you're saying the smart thing because you all agree you're team green or team blue or your team PC, whatever, right? So you go through this years and years and years, then a guy like me comes along like, okay, you think you know better than me? Pull up live. You pull up live and now you sound like an idiot because everybody's hearing live. Your shit don't make sense live. Like the train of thought is not going. This isn't Twitter where you can ignore a comment or like even some of the things, like I will make a point and he tries to reshape it because they do that a lot on Twitter. The classic, I like chocolate ice cream. Oh, so that means vanilla ice cream suck? These guys do that all the time. But that shit don't work live. In fact, you sound stupid if you try to do that because people are going to be like, what the this, like, Porter Rock didn't say that. Like, what are you talking about, you moron? So I can, so really, anybody who takes a challenge, more often than not, I think they're going to sound stupid. And now 8 hours, I'll be honest, I didn't realize 8 hours went by fast. I'll be honest, I did it. I was so in tune to listening to him and making sure he got his point across.
Yo, listen, Podork, also, we got to talk about that. Listen, you give us on the podcast like 2-3 hours, and you gave this motherfucker 8 hours. We need an 8-hour show too, okay? What the fuck is that?
I can't do that on Tuesday, man. I can't do it on a Tuesday.
Move the podcast. Jesus Christ. We deserve the good.
Extreme says, listen, if he got 8 hours, we get 8 hours.
I'm telling you, you gotta... Hey, listen.
Well, to be fair, you got a spot every week. To be fair, you got a spot every week. He doesn't.
Nah, man.
He probably will never come back to this channel ever again.
I hope not. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus, I never even considered it. Jesus Christ. No, we don't want him back. Are you serious?
I'll say this. Rock, what you were saying as far as like with the influencers and your favorite YouTubers, you went into more you went into more. You emphasize and you went into more detail because that's exactly my point. And then two, and I'm not going to take credit for this, but I think it's really relevant to this conversation. I am of the opinion that everyone has an opinion, but everyone does not need to be heard. And accountability is saying needs to come back because it's like, yo, just because you know how to talk and enunciate words doesn't mean you need to fucking speak. Shut the fuck up. Like some of the opinions that I hear that people have, or it's so asinine. Like as I said, I don't mind hearing people, but when it becomes so asinine, it's like, yo, like again, as I said to you earlier, I don't know how you did 8 hours of this. I really don't know. I know 6 hours of it was the true debate, which is a feat within itself, but you got more. I don't know if that's just I don't know if that's just strategy on your end or you're really a patient person. I don't know which one is it.
I'm a patient person. I've always been told that. Not just outside of gaming. Outside, like nothing, like kids screaming. Like I remember like my nephews and nieces, when they start riling up, I would just stare at them. Eventually they'll stop because they realize, all right, uncle's not moving for like a half hour. And then they realize, all right, I will outpatient the shit out of anybody. I will outpatient Mother Teresa. Even Mother Teresa would be like, okay, motherfucker, I had it with your ass. I'll be like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. Listen, I've been dealing with Marines for 29 years. I gotta have patience. Even that's, you know, but anyway. But all right. But it's, yeah, I mean, it is, like I said, I'll be honest. I don't know how many debates. I know everybody's excited, but I'm going to be honest. You're probably not going to see a lot of debates on this channel because most won't do it. Most know that they're safe on Twitter, and other people have to protect their brand, right? If they're capping for Xbox or PC to the extreme fanboys, and they're doing good on their channel with that formula, they're not going to interrupt. And it makes sense. They're not going to ruin their money and their method and what they're doing and their channel growth to debate with me. They're going to be like, get the fuck out of here. That's not in their best interest. You know, what they got going on is what they got going on. And guess what? It's working for them. Their channel's growing. They're getting the support from that. That's just, and it's not, and to be honest, let's be honest, it's not limited to gaming. Politics, relationships, Fresh and Fit podcasts. Oh, there's so many different topics in terms of money and all that stuff where content creators figured out grifting and just saying things that they know people want to hear, right? May not be true, but there's an audience that wants to hear it anyway. They're going to say it because in return, they will be thanked for saying what people want to hear, even if it's not true. There's an audience that wants to hear what they consider is true. So content creators, they hit the pulse. They're like, ooh, I know my audience wants to hear this. You know, my audience wants to hear gaming's woke. So they'll take every goddamn game. You know? Am I lying? Free game is woke. One black person is all it takes. Boom, woke.
Well,
got it. That's it. Done. A woman. You know, like you know, because they know somebody wants to say that, so they're gonna say it, and they're like, yeah, you see, I knew it, and blah blah blah. They're gonna support their channel. They're gonna sign up for their Patreon. They probably don't believe it themselves. They're probably playing the game in secret, but on the air, oh yeah, that game is woke. Look at it. Oh my God, we have a female lead character. Industry's going woke. Like what the fuck? Like that, they even say, oh my God, there's a lesbian scene. Bro, you have to actually make the choices. So that means you picked it. You created the scenario to lead to that lesbian scene, and you're mad that you're seeing it when it's your choice. You did that. She could have been heterosexual. Or he could have been heterosexual. You made the character gay. Oh, this is woke. But they know that leads. They know the content creators know there is an audience that wants to hear that. So they say it, and the audience responds, and then they support them. So they know that's just how things are.
They're talking about Witcher today because I guess CD Projekt Red, and I put their thing up as far as they had that pride flag in their thing. I'm like, it's going to be woke, and you all ain't going to be able to play it. It's like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be super woke, like to the point where you can put Lucia's makeup on her and change her clothing, like you could in Grand Theft Auto 5 with those characters. You know, you can change your clothing, but they're going to go crazy. Ghost of Yote is going to be woke as well. I'm loving it. It's just I'm here for it. Because like you said, P-Rock, it is I mean, go back to the PS5 Pro. Remember, who was it for? You know, and then those people took your super chat. They took super chat money. They went and bought one. And they were like, oh, okay, look. Yeah, they went and bought one. Oh, yeah, well, you know, guys, it does look better. Last of Us Part 2, it's woke. Well, what did they redo it for? Well, it outsold Doom. So it's just like, all right, guys, they know their audiences at this point. And you're right as far as the some of these RPGs, because I did that in was Dragon Age. There was a girl on there, a female, who was gay, and I turned her back to our side because that's the way I roll in those games. But overall, yeah, you're right. I mean, you're making
great.
I turned her back. Yeah, I did. I turned her. So, it is what it is.
You just said that you use gay conversion therapy in a video game.
I just did it. I played that game until, I took it. So that's the way I do those games.
I'm gonna turn off my camera just for this
Oh
bitch.
my god. Like, bro.
You know it's true, but not Pork. I agree with you. These guys
We're done.
will, like you
We're
said,
done.
that's
This
one
guy's
Cancel
black
this show.
character.
It was
Oh
good.
my god.
300 episodes or so.
This guy's a
Cancel
oh
this
my
shit.
god. This
That's
guy
the truth.
Hey, Ghost, don't turn on your camera. That's not the time, bro. My man out here stalking. He's like, I turned her. He like, yo, this dick made her straight again. What are we talking about, Craig?
I didn't say that.
Shit.
I didn't say that. Come on now. I didn't, but I
What?
did. Yeah.
Oh
But I
man, yo, Greg, yo, M's like, I'm done.
Oh, man.
No.
Man, you want 8
Hey,
hours of
listen,
this?
I don't have
You want
ghost
8
money
hours?
yet. I can't be canceled. I can't be canceled yet.
Nah, yo,
Okay.
Ghost, I was just kidding, man. I was just kidding. You can put the camera on, my brother, man. You chill out. You know what I'm saying? All right.
We go
Oh
turn
my
my
god.
porch lights on.
Okay, nice. Oh man, yo, James was like, yeah, I'm about to dip. Go back to next gen's camera. It's safer out here. Oh shit. All right. No,
Oh,
let me
man.
let's go with the first topic. All right, we're gonna kick this off. All right, but I'm showing some info on the first topic. Please hit the like button. I hope you're enjoying the show. Of course, membership opportunities available if you choose to want to consistently support the channel. But overall, at the end of the day, I really appreciate you guys showing up and stuff like that. Let me read some more super chats here. We got Win Games. Thank you for the super chat. He says, I watched the full 8 hours over the course of 3 days. I need to see who retweets his post because this was GOAT gaming with no satire. Shit. Goat Gaming was in the chat too, and even he was like, "What the fuck?" I think he made a tweet. I mean, not a tweet, but I think he made a comment. He's like, "Man, even I can't make this shit up." Yo, I started laughing. I was like, "Yo, the actual Goat Gaming account was actually in the chat, and even he was like, "Yo, even I can't." Even he said like something, such to the fact like this is even beyond him. Like, yo, that shit was funny. Glassdoor Gamer, he says that boy is on crack. He said, "Oh shit." And Glassdoor Gamer, another super chat. Thank you. He says, "I'm a PC guy, and even I hate PC gaming." Crap value.
Go to back mill.
Hey, but that's wild. That's wild, like Puerto Rock, because I've been going back and forth. Like, I'm a Sony guy, but I have a beefy rig. You know what I mean? But I prefer PlayStation, and the amount of insecurity and butthurtness and everything else about me choosing to play PlayStation over my PC is wild to me. Like, check some of my comments out. These dudes go in on me like, "You're retarded. This is blasphemy." I mean, it's wild.
How dare you? Like Greta Thunberg, how dare you? You know what's crazy? Because I seen it with J-Dub. J-Dub has a beast PC. So some of these cats that talk shit to him don't have the PC he has, or probably why you have. So they talk shit on something that they don't even have, that but the fact that you enjoy another product hurts them.
It hurts them.
Bro, it's none of your business
core.
anyway. If you like PC, play on your PC. Ain't nobody need to validate your shit.
Man.
Yo, can I just say, talking exactly about that. When I made the comments about PC gaming, I had people in the comments laughing at me because they were like,
I
"Oh,
saw that.
this guy probably doesn't have PC." Then I'm like, "I have one." Then they're like, "You have a shit PC." Then I'm like, "Okay, here's my PC." And then they're like, "Oh, wait, you have that good a PC? What do you use it for if you don't use it for gaming?" Then I'm like, "I use it for photography." Now they were making fun of me because apparently my PC was too big or too powerful for what I wanted to use it for. And I'm like, what the fuck are you to tell me what it is for what I want to use it for? Like, you don't even know what I do. But yeah, you can't win.
So guys who probably aren't into photography telling you what you need for
exactly.
photography. That's
They
what's
tell me
funny.
what
They
I
all
need to
become
use. And I'm
experts.
like,
They
what the
all
fuck?
become experts. They all
I'm
become
telling you,
experts
man.
instantly.
So it's like it's incredible. It's incredible. So yeah, because there's no winning. You could have whether it's the lowest end PC, the highest end. You could have a PC that costs more than a Lamborghini.
If anything, it makes sense to have a powerful PC because your photography is work. You invested in a PC to make money.
Yo,
so it
it's
actually
crazy.
makes sense to have a really good rig if it helps your job.
I'm like 90% of the money that I make in my life goes through this PC at some point. Like so it's
wild,
like yeah.
It's wild to the point where it's like even I have an Alienware the QD OLED monitor. and I posted a picture of just the monitor, like in my like my little simplistic setup, and people in the comments were like, that's too powerful of a monitor. Why you need all that?" I'm like, "God damn, I can't win for nothing." Like,
Like, bro. Bro,
They sure known for pocket watching.
Yo,
They
J
known
Dub
for
shows
that.
his Ferrari. They're like, you don't need that. Honda Civic is just fine for you. Like, what the?
Bro, it be just basic. It just be basic stuff, like you said, like a monitor. Oh, you don't need that.
Who's the guy? Who's the guy from the
I
first
can't make this
belly?
up.
Who's the guy from the first belly? He was eating a banana with the glasses, and he was hating
Yeah,
on.
I like that. I don't. That's my favorite meme. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. Oh shit, J Dub got an OLED monitor. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Oh
Yeah.
shit, Ghost Guy's private plane. I don't like that shit at all. You don't need that.
I'm gonna drop
You
it.
better fly. You better fly Spirit Airlines, dog. I don't know why you flying in the plane. You better be on Spirit Airlines. What the hell you doing?
Yeah.
You better fly Southwest.
Offers, man.
You better fly Southwest, dog. Well, you don't need that. You can fly Southwest. You know,
What you
you're
doing on
adding
that
to the
United
you're
flight?
adding to the carbon emissions. What are we doing here?
Because why are you
Think
sideways
of the
though?
planet. Think of the planet.
Because why are you sideways? What's going on there?
There we
There
go.
we
Yeah,
go. There we
boom.
go.
There
We
we
can
go.
see him.
My man said, y'all don't need that shit. Yo, J-Dub, what you doing with that Ferrari? Man, Honda Civic. Stop playing. Use. Don't buy that shit brand new. Don't buy that shit brand new. That shit, the moment you drive it off the lot, it already lost its value. You better get that shit on the Carfax website. I'll be honest, PC gamers are the biggest pocket watchers I have ever seen in gaming.
Yep.
By far. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
What's even funnier though is that it's the PC gamers that use their PC as some type of like flex. Like, I got this and this, and I'm like, okay, and it's a PC, good for you. Like, good job. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What else? I see that raggedy ass couch in the back, but what else?
Big fact.
Did I hear your mama say dinner's ready? What?
Yeah.
I think your mom's calling you. You better get your ass upstairs. All right, let's talk about the hybrid powerhouse. I got two articles here.
Just quickly. Are you using your actual microphone or are you using the headset microphone?
No, I'm using my actual microphone. My actual microphone.
No problem. Go ahead.
Why, is it bad?
It just sounds different. The EQ sounds different than last week.
Okay, yeah, I changed it up. Does it sound worse or better?
It sounds more trebly. You don't have the bass you have in your voice.
More trebly. All right, so I don't have the bass. I don't have the deep
Yeah,
sound.
the bass and the mid tone.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
It's not that big a deal. I'm not gonna.
All right. Okay. Man, I can't get shit right. Well, at least my internet's consistent. Here we go. At least I got that going for me, right? And listen, bro, in a 2-console market, all right, you're gonna have to deal with this sound, voice and microphone.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
I need your help because I know you're like an audiophile, so I do need your help. Because I know you're the
we'll
audio
work on
guy.
it after the show.
All right. For the next 8 hours.
Exactly. I get my time.
Right.
I get the time that I want.
In fact, it's only early afternoon for you. All
free
right,
technical support.
Okay. So we got one article, right? It's talking about what is it? It says what is talking about? Right here. For Nobunaga's adventure, it says we also experimented with 4K and 60 FPS, but the power required to render Japanese archipelago with these graphics is more than you can imagine, difficult to stable. So we had to give up. The game producer Michi Ryu said speaking to Koei Tecmo about the launch of Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition, we learned that the Japanese team tried to run the game at 4K resolution, 60 FPS, but had to scale it down to 1080p 30. All right, and if that's not enough, right? Let's see who else I got here.
Wait, so they went from 4K 60 to 1080p 30?
They tried because that's what Nintendo told them. Nintendo told them it's a 4K 30, 4K 60 VR and all that stuff. When they put it, they're like,
they start backtracking.
Wait, but it wasn't even 1080p 60.
They said run that shit back 1080p 30, dog. Right? They're like, nah, right? But that's not it. Check this out, Cyberpunk, right? The official thing came out. So for Cyberpunk, on Nintendo Switch, we'll have performance and quality mode docked The performance mode is 1080p 40. Quality is 1080p 30. In handheld, which all right, I get it. Handheld 720p 40, quality 1080p 30. So the main thing is docked. You can't get 1080p 60. You only get like 10 extra frames in performance mode. And the crazy part is when you do performance mode, you're cutting, effects.
The power, yeah.
But even then, you're only getting 10 extra frames, which is crazy. Which is absolutely
Oh wait, so it's
crazy.
actually lowering the resolution as well, right? Like,
Yeah,
sorry, not the
right?
resolution, but the quality of the visuals.
The quality, the effects, the visuals, the settings, just everything's toned down just for an extra 10 frames. So you're getting total visuals for 10 frames or some shit, right? Or maybe they're doing the VRR thing that PlayStation does. So it's the same as the 1080p 30, but 1080p 40, but they're calling that performance.
But then why wouldn't they just make that the standard graphics mode then?
You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point because when Sony does it, that 40 frame, it's the same quality effects of the 1080p 30. I mean, not 1080p 30, but the 4K 30, but with 40 extra frames, right? And usually that's an additional thing. But the only reason why Sony does, I know why, because some TVs when they dock it, they may not have a VR compatible TV, so you have to have a 1080p 30. Yeah, that's why. So the people that don't have VRR, they won't be able to use that mode. But the fact is, that mode is considered performance, not a traditional 1080p 60 performance mode. That's like.
I mean, look, I'm just gonna switch.
What is going on here? I need Nintendo to come on Friday. You got some explaining to do. Where's Nintendo at? Chat. Find Glimmer Gamers. Find me Nintendo. Where's Baron? Where the hell is Baron? I haven't seen that cat either. I need the Nintendo hybrid powerhouse. Where he at? Where the hell is Emperor at?
Oh yeah, there were the people say that it was going to be as powerful as a PS5, right? Oh yeah, I remember that.
All right, this is silly.
That's
all Brain. Go ahead, Brain.
This is silly. First of all, it's a handheld. That's number one. So let's just get that out of the way. And secondly, even when it was leaked, it was always being compared to either the original PlayStation 4 or at most a PlayStation 4 Pro. So the fact that they had to actually scale down, to go from 4K 60 all the way down to 1080p 30, that's a hell of a drop. I'm not going to try to do the math because I'm not going to pretend to know how to do the math, but I know enough to know that is a hell of a drop that it just can't do it. Period. I mean, even the high end PC handhelds, they can't even do that, and those are specific Steam machines. So why would we expect I don't even care about the cost because I'm not going to knock what the Switch 2 is. What the Switch 2 is, I'm gonna go back to what I said, about a month or two ago when we first heard about it. I thought it was great, and I still think that Nintendo is making itself competitive by finally catching up with the times and also at this price mark. But at the same time, I mean, it's a fucking handheld, guys. I mean, well, not to you guys, but I'm just saying, guys, rhetorically, I mean, the expectation has to be simmered. And pretty much that's it for me because it's like, come on, guys, it's like, and Nobunaga's Adventure or whatever the hell it was called. Was that on the PlayStation 4?
I think so.
And was that at 4K 60 on the PlayStation 4 or even the PlayStation 4 Pro?
I don't know.
Oh, well, of course not on the 4. It wasn't
not 4K, not on 4. Maybe on the Pro, but not on the 4.
Okay, and even on the Pro, it probably was at most. It wasn't even true 4K. It probably was at 1440, 30 frames per second, probably more than likely if it took advantage of the Pro capabilities. And I see, don't compare me to that guy. That's a whole other conversation.
my man preaching. You preaching. He said, hold up. I see that shit. Don't take that shit off. He's like, don't do it. Say, man, take that shit off the screen. But preach.
But it's just silly, man. I mean, I saw what game was it that they had on the that digital film? Matter of fact, it was Cyberpunk and everything about it. As far as its graphical capabilities and its resolution, screen PlayStation 4. To me,
Yeah.
that should be good. That should be good enough. And if we know how the PlayStation 4 was, very great system. It's sold what 120, either 120 million or
Yeah.
125 million. It did well for what it could do, but it had its limitations. Same thing with the Switch. Switch was all with the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo was always behind the times, either
hmm
a generation behind or a half a generation behind from what the true generations is. As I said, I'm not too sure if this is considered Gen 9. It's a Switch 2 is considered Gen 9 or it's considered Gen 10. But
Gen 10.
yeah, but hey, it's just finally catching
But
up to what
it's on par with Gen 8.
right. Right. So
You know,
it's
you're
like
comparing the Switch 2 hasn't even released yet,
right.
and it can only be compared to something that's with the like you said, the PS4 and the Xbox One S. So if it's already showing you the maximum potential, before it even launches, is the sub 30 frames, the 720p, the 1080, then where is this system going to be 5 years from now, 6 years, 7 years from now?
Yo,
Mm.
It's a
Podok, I
it's a
sent you a
wrap
DM.
already.
think they're gonna. I think they're gonna.
And remember,
What's your
Nintendo don't
tweets?
do mid-gen refreshes, right? So
Mm-mm.
it is what it is. They're gonna slap make a
Don't they?
OLED model, and that's it.
I
And
think they'll
apparently
be
But
able to.
they already started making it.
yeah,
I,
well, keep in mind that the chip that's in there, was ready to go back in 2020. It has the dates on the chip according to Digital Foundry. But what happened is the Switch One was still selling so well, they just kept delaying it until the sales basically slowed up and stopped. And now in 2025, while we're mid-gen now of this generation, we're mid-gen now, they're going to release it. And again, they're probably releasing it at the wrong time, because now is the time that all the big games are about to come out. All the developers have reached their stride. Now you're starting to see, what the systems can do with, stuff like The Witcher 4, GTA 6, Galactic and stuff like that. And it's really going to show you the disparity between that system and the current system. So,
J-Dog,
um,
J-Dog, I'm
yeah,
so sorry to interrupt, but allow me to say
but
this shit is a motherfucking potato. Look at the
yeah,
game they're talking about that can't run at 1080p 60. What the
yes,
hell is this? It's on screen
yeah,
now. How
yep,
is that not capable of running at 1080p 60?
exactly.
Because I thought it was like a cyberpunk game. I thought it was a real game. I didn't know it
No,
was one of these things. This was like a
no,
mobile game.
This is like a
yeah,
Dynasty Warriors type.
yeah.
But
With
Dynasty
all
Warriors actually has like the people fighting with like 1,000
Yeah,
characters on the screen.
yeah.
This is like a top-down, old-fashioned, like, I don't know, civilization type. Bro, listen,
Wait a minute,
look
what
at
the fuck
this.
is this?
This is the game.
I'm thinking in my head like whatchamacallit, like Dynasty Warriors. Like you have a lot of people, actual
Yeah,
characters.
exactly. But you
This
see this,
you
it's
can't
not.
get this 1080p 60, period? Like
That's
no?
exactly why I
Mm.
sent you.
Oh, this shit is wild, bro.
Yeah.
Yo. What? Are you kidding me?
Oh my god. Wow. I'm
That's what
sorry.
you're getting.
That's
$80 games and a $500 console. That's what you can expect.
I need somebody to clip this and send this to Nintendo. Send this shit to OJ Player Essence. Y'all really gonna come bring us to smoke with this shit? Y'all need to stop. Like stop. Don't even.
That's what.
I'm telling these Nintendo
What
dudes.
about?
Don't
That's why we
start
haven't
this
seen
shit.
Baron.
Don't do it, man. Just play your first party and
This is
shut
why.
up about third party and compare it to PS5.
Yeah.
Don't mention PS5's name. Nothing. Like don't. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is why we haven't seen Baron, right? Because it's not a hybrid powerhouse. He can't come and fight with this shit.
I would like to see what Nintendo can do, what first party Nintendo can do. That's what I would like to see.
I
Like, 'cause
gotta
t-
see, man.
Well,
I'm
they
seeing,
don't make games that's going to show you what, you know what I'm saying. Look at the type of games they make. They ain't giving you no ray tracing. They ain't taking advantage. The
oh,
best you're going to get is Mario Kart, the Zeldas, and that's the Nintendo MO.
that's kind of my point. But but and what I'm getting to where I'm getting to is this. I'm looking at the developer Koei Tecmo America, and as far as I'm concerned, Koei Tecmo, first of all, Tecmo or Koei Tecmo, they haven't been relevant for a very long time. So my expectation of them and their games isn't that high to begin with. So to me, I'm not no Nintendo fanboy at all, but I'm gonna be fair. My expectations for as far as graphically what the Switch 2 can do is still gonna be low because because we still have a good threshold, which is the
Well, they
PlayStation
just gave
4.
us Rise of Ronin,
Rise of
you
Ronin.
know, and they're going to be making do it. They make some other games, so I mean,
Graphically, that game to me that's an outlier, and then too graphically, even that game wasn't there because the more I
yeah.
look at this, the more I look at that name. This is the same company that does all the Dynasty Warriors and the Samurai Warrior type of games and stuff. So to me, this is
Yeah.
these type of games are their bread and butter, but at the same time, those games weren't never graphically demanding. So I get the point.
Yeah.
I get everyone's point saying, hey, did
Which
they
is why it should be able to run
yeah, right,
our
right,
1080p.
frames and how
This should run
right.
because of that.
1080p, man. This is
Yeah.
you paying you're charging what well, how much are you charging? 400 for a
450,
Switch?
500,
Four
500. Yep.
oh, 450 without the game, 500 for, oh, is it 400 without the game? Which is the
It's
basic one?
it's
450
450
without,
with no
The
game.
499 with.
Yeah, that
500.
$500, the one with
Is
Mario
with the
Kart,
game.
that's
Is
a
with Mario
limited
Kart.
time. Yeah, that's for
Okay.
two
So
month limited time. So it's
so for
450.
450, so
Just
for
the system.
450, 1080p. Yeah, come on, man. 1080p for 450 in 2025. Come on, bro. That's crazy. That shit is wild, bro. This shit is wild. And apparently, there's nobody has a Switch to review. So there's gonna be
No,
no reviews.
there's no review switches out there.
There's no
It's
review
coming in hot.
switches.
It's coming in hot, fellas. It's coming in hot. Yeah.
But I'm done. I'm done, guys.
Yo, I just want to say, I expect like the Bueno was just saying, I expect nothing less from a kid's tablet. But I have to say,
This is bad.
looking at this particular game, it's
Mhm.
man, this looks like it runs on a TI-84. Like, boy, like,
Yeah.
oh, stop, please, stop.
Here's the thing. I don't really have a big problem with the Switch 2. The biggest problems I have with the Switch 2 is the price and the price of the games. The fact that they're the ones that decide to make their console more expensive than a PS5 and an Xbox. And then they made the decision to raise the price of games. Um, I understand it. It's next generation for them. So they're like, yeah, we're going to start next year, but they don't get to dictate that. I don't think they're the
Mm,
ones that should dictate that. So,
mm,
that's the biggest problem. I knew before this system was even designed, it was gonna run games like dog shit because Nintendo only cares about Nintendo. They only care about their first party games, and they're not
mhm,
out here making games that require a bunch of power. So why would they? Right. And we thought because they came out bragging, remember when we had the treehouse and they showed us they brought their engineer out there, the hardware guy, and he had his jacket on and stuff. It looked like he had a scientist jacket on. And he was talking about some of the spec of the system, the capabilities, and mentioned the VRR, right? Which they started to walk back. It's only in portable mode, which defeats the purpose because then it's not using enough power to even reach the frames to even be able to utilize it. So that's a waste. Um, the system doesn't have HDMI 2.1 spec. That should have been a red flag for us right there,
Oh wow.
right?
mhm.
Yeah, it is still using HDMI 2.0. So you can't get 4K 60. You can get 1440p 60, or you can get 4K 30, but you can't get 4K 60 with HDR and VRR and stuff like that, because that's part of the HDMI 2.1 spec. That's a next generation, some of the features, right? We've yet to see. We know Ada Lovelace. I think is it Ada or is it the Ampere? I think Ampere is the chipset. So potentially it can support ray tracing, but we haven't seen any game to take advantage of ray tracing. We haven't even seen it. Just because the architecture can support it doesn't mean it's ever going to be turned on, right? So,
Machine
you know,
learning.
that's a waste, right? And if you can't even do 4K docked, I mean, I'm assuming the way to get 4K docked, it would have to be like what's that demo game that should have been free, but they're going to charge you $10 for?
Oh,
That game will probably do 4K 60, right?
the
Because
survival, the manual, the instruction manual game.
yeah, the instruction manual,
Is it
right?
like my
That'll
first
that'll
Nintendo or
probably hit
something?
4K 60, but anything outside of that, probably nope. You know, maybe some old Switch game. Um, so I knew the power wasn't going to be there. It wasn't, you know. And here's the thing: we started to start comparing it to a Steam Deck, but when you look at the Steam Deck and some of the capabilities it has, it surpasses the Switch 2. So I don't know. I mean, I think as a Nintendo gamer, if you're just a Nintendo gamer, it's a good thing that at least you get another generation of your system, and it can play your current games, and you can pay $10 or whatever to upgrade the Zeldas to support the Switch 2. This launch, I think, is probably Nintendo's worst launch as far as games. They're only coming out with Mario Kart. Everything else is old multiplats like Cyberpunk and shit like that. Um, we get Donkey Kong, but that's not at launch. You're right. That comes out in July. Metroid, we don't have a release date on that. That's just coming at the end of the year sometime, right? So, I mean, if you're not a Mario Kart person, what are you going to do with the Switch Day One?
Wait for
That's the
Zelda.
okay, yeah, but again, your Zelda is an old game, right? You're gonna
Hey, only reason why I said that, J Dub, because during the debate, Porter Rock
uh-huh.
pulled up the numbers of the sales of all the Nintendo first party games. I
Yeah.
knew they sold a lot, but I did not know that the attach rate was that crazy.
It's crazy.
As far
I'm saying it's crazy.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like literally that's the
But
heart
to
and
keep
soul, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Nintendo
true,
nurtured that, but
true.
without first
But keep in
party,
mind,
that motherfucker's a waste.
but keep in mind, the games were $50. The system was $299.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind
No,
that,
some of
right?
those games
Two
were
ninety
more
nine.
expensive.
I said before, the Switch One, I bought 3 Switches at launch, one for each kid, right? $299. That's right up my alley. I don't mind doing that. $50 games, okay. Each person get a couple of games. Now we're looking close to $100 games, right? And now we're looking for 450 for a system. Nah, that's more than the PS5. I'm not doing that.
Mm.
You
Now
know, and
listen,
it's
like you
not
said,
about and see, here's the thing, it's not about what you can afford or not, it's just what the value is. Like, how
Is it worth
dare
it?
Nintendo? How dare Nintendo, out of all people, right? They're the ones that lost. They got pushed out of their own lane, out of the console lane, right? So now they're in their handheld thing. Well, now there are other handhelds out there, other viable sources out there, like the ROG Ally and the Steam Decks and stuff like that. So how dare you have the audacity to basically step out of the comfort zone of your audience? Their audience are the 299 people. Their audience is not the $500 people, right? It's just not. So the kids are looking for probably going to look forward to these things for the holidays, but there's just going to be a lot of parents are not going to spend that amount of money on that, especially because of the games. Let's say we get past the 450 for the console. Let's say we get past that. Well, how do you get past the $80 games?
Black
That
Friday.
that's a hard sell for a lot of people. They don't have a subscription service like Game Pass, right? Where you get all the games for one set fee. Um, so that's out of the thing. If I wanted to buy 3 games, right? If they had 3 games that was worth Wi-Fi, about 3 games, that's basically $300 with tax, right? That's bruh. I'm not even trying to do that with fucking PlayStation. Right? So it's like it's just the audacity for Nintendo to do that. I just they don't their balls aren't big enough to be able to demand that. I just don't think so. I don't think it's gonna fail. I just think it's not gonna sell what they think it's gonna sell. I think the initial push should be pretty good. But other than that, it's going to slack up, and then eventually, I think they're going to have to lower the price. Eventually, or maybe they're just content with, fuck it, we'll just let this shit ride out. It really didn't cost us much to make this shit anyway. It's an old ass fucking chip. You know, they're making profits on it day one anyway. So, you know, I just don't think the masses, and it's more than just the hardcore, right? Because the fucking pro was sold out day one. So you know everything sells out day one, but it's about month two, month three. You know, fucking GTA is coming out. Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, they have competition. Any person that spends money on a PlayStation or Xbox item is one less person that's spending money on Nintendo and its items. So they're still in competition regardless of how they see it.
Well, it's because it's a two console market. That's the problem.
Okay.
Hey, I say that jokingly, J-Dub.
Well,
That's true.
That's gonna stay. But I'm gonna use
Ain't
that for
lying,
everything.
it's true.
Like, listen, man, it's a two console market. I don't know why
Yep.
you're still a virgin, dog. I don't know.
Yep.
We need 3 consoles. You know, I don't know why you can't find a great date.
Oh my
It's a two
god,
console
that's
market,
funny.
bro. It's gonna be hard trying to find a wife now. You know, but I would say this. So tomorrow's the launch. Like J-Dub just reminded me. Like it's
Yep.
happening
Tomorrow at 11
tomorrow.
o'clock.
This is
Yep.
like the most quietest launch of any platform, bro. Like, yo, this shit is wild. Like when J-Dub said, "Oh yeah,"
There's
no
no
one's talking
hype
about it.
behind it.
I'm like, wait a
Mhm.
minute. The launch is tomorrow? I just completely like tomorrow. I'm thinking state of play. Like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Oh shit, I completely forgot. So we're gonna see how that is, man. I can't wait to see, you know, content and people unboxing and when they show the games, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, that's what you playing, dog? That
Wait,
yo.
hold on. Conspiracy theory time. You think PlayStation did that on purpose?
Yes.
You think they put the state on
I
play
think so.
on the Nintendo
Absolutely.
Switch launch on purpose? Because
Absolutely.
that's kind of weird, right?
I'm gonna say this. If
The
let's
same
say
reason
that's
they
a
lowered the
plan,
prices. The same reason they
listen,
lowered the prices at their launch.
if that's the plan, if they did it, they better show something nice at the state of play. Don't come
Yeah.
with like fucking a third party game or some shit. Granted, it's all right,
No.
but
Do you know
like
what I
if you're
think they're
gonna
gonna
do
do?
it, you need
They're
it's
gonna
like
do
there's
Exceed.
something has to be there. Something has to be there that makes people be like, yo, Sony just fucking took Nintendo shine.
No. I think they're gonna
You
come
can't
up
even
with
show
something for
Death
kids.
Stranding. Don't even do that. Don't do that. Don't show, oh, here's a new trailer of Death Stranding. Nah, we ain't trying to hear that
Yeah,
shit.
because it's coming. Yeah, because it's coming out
Yeah,
in
it's
a
coming
couple
out in 2
weeks, so
weeks.
it's too
Don't do
late.
that.
Yeah.
Like, so if Nintendo, like, if Sony's trying to play that game, like, just like Extreme saying, like, hey, yo, we're gonna launch this state of play at Nintendo's launch because we're gonna show this. I need to know what that is. Don't come with some bullshit because I'm gonna be like, man, you should let Nintendo be, bro. If you're gonna come strong,
Yeah.
if you're gonna step in the ring, boy, you better get in there and box. Don't come with this bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got more points on that? Nintendo's weak bullshit. No.
Yo, I
All
want
right.
to
All right.
say to J-Dub's
Okay.
point, it's like the price point, right?
Yeah.
It is confronting. I have to say, I do believe that it will sell out, of course, and everything like that. But when I think about it, I made a few statements that was like, this will be as successful as the original Switch. At this price, I don't
Now you're not
know.
so sure.
There's a huge difference between 300 and like this is 1.5 times the price.
Yes.
You know, this is like, and in Australia, it is $769 by itself.
Damn.
By itself.
Extreme is looking like,
Like,
I don't know.
I'm like, wait, what?
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see. Do I think it might have a good launch? It might because
Actually, no, hold on.
launch is
That's the
primary.
bundle. That's the bundle. That's with the
Okay.
bundle. Okay, that's
Okay.
with the bundle. $769 with the bundle.
With the game,
So
with
that's
Mario
good.
Kart,
With Mario Kart, yeah.
and without
yeah.
it,
Without it, I think it's Let me double check because
You know,
we can't speak
700,
out of
yeah.
turn.
you know, the launch is gonna be dominated by the hardcore, so that's irrelevant about the price. Tech enthusiasts, the price is gonna be irrelevant. Content creators, the price is gonna be irrelevant, right?
Okay,
That
so
group alone, and obviously the guys who are trying to buy it so they can resell it.
let's check this out, right? Nintendo Switch 2 by itself, $700 in Australia, right?
Okay.
And we include taxes in our price, so you don't have to think about taxes.
Okay.
And then it's going to be $70 more for Mario Kart. That's at $770. Okay. But then The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, $99.
Yep. Yep.
For a game that came out how many years ago?
2017.
8 years. 8 years.
No.
2017.
It came out,
It came out in
Wii U,
2017.
it's a Wii U game, isn't it?
No, not Breath of the Wild. It came out.
Yeah,
It came
Breath of the
out.
Wild.
It came out on Wii U, but like a month later.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
2017. So
Yeah,
it's a game that's
2017.
8 years old, and it's selling for $100.
It's more expensive
Yeah.
than when it launched.
Yeah.
What the fuck? If Sony did this with a remaster of
Yep.
remake, oh my
Everybody would
god!
lose their shit. Everybody
Yo,
would lose their shit.
here's one thing that I will predict that I think is 100% true. Nintendo fans are not going to be able to have that coat of invisibility that they had for the last generation. And they're going to find themselves in the spotlight a lot because they talked a lot of shit.
I think so.
They talked a lot of shit.
This is gonna be a
Tears
bad
of
jam for
Kingdom,
these
Nintendo
Nintendo
Switch Edition,
fanboys.
$99. Super Mario Party, $99. Guardians of Azuma, Wind Factory, $114. What the fuck are these prices? Kirby and the Forgotten Land, $99.
It's these exclusives that hurt the consumers.
My God. Donkey
No amount of Magic games.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, $99.
Mhm.
Story of Seasons, $104. Where did I get the extra $5 from? Yo, Cyberpunk, $114
No.
for the Ultimate Edition.
No. No,
Hey,
not
listen.
Cyberpunk.
I'm not talking kangaroo coins right now, but this is still ridiculous. That is still ridiculous. What the hell?
Bro.
And this has the PS5 upgrade. I paid $6. And this
Wow.
when you put it in a PS5, you download the PS5.
Yeah, but you weren't in
upgrade.
the 2-console market back then.
Oh, it wasn't a 2-console market. That's true. Now it's a 2-console market. So you're right. It's a 2-console market. So he's right. And he's right. Josh is right. It's a 2-console market now. 2-console market. That game's $200 in the 2-console market.
Yeah, I don't know. These prices are.
Yo, oh my god.
Nah, yeah, maybe not. Maybe they will not see the same amount of success because
I don't
again,
know. It's hard to
the
tell.
console isn't overly expensive. That was one thing, but
the games.
I
think that's going to be the kicker when the people who normally buy the Switch, when they see these games are $80, they're going to be like, but here's the kicker: they see $80 Nintendo games, but then they look at PlayStation games as $70 or less. They're going to be like, wait a minute, like something's off. Why are Nintendo games $80? They're not going to understand, all right? And then when they show it on the screen, you see these goofy looking shit. While PlayStation, you're going to see like Wolverine and graphics. And graphics is easy. Even if you're a casual, that's why they focus so much on graphics, because you don't need an explanation. You just show it and it sells itself. They're going to look at Nintendo and they're going to look at PlayStation. They're going to be like, just graphically, it's like, holy shit, why is this $10 more than this? Like, from a graphical standpoint, that's how casuals look at things. They're going to be like the whole thing, like, oh, it's Nintendo. That can only go so far. Because we have seen time and time again, you can sell 100 million Wii's, and then you go right back to only selling 14 million Wii U's. People will abandon Nintendo like that, and people don't understand. Like, Nintendo's not like consistently 100 million selling every single time. They will abandon Nintendo like that the moment Nintendo does something fishy, and they'll be like, wait a minute, this is a little fishy. So it's going to be interesting to see this gen. Nintendo,
I keep telling people every
Nintendo
other
quick.
generation is a failure for Nintendo. Every other one. We can go all the way back to the beginning. The first one sold well, the second one didn't sell as well. Then the next one sold well, then the next one didn't sell well, then the next one it's consistent like that with Nintendo. This is that generation for it to not sell well. And maybe they're, for whatever reason, maybe they're okay with that.
And they're saying right now, And hold up, Powerball's also reminded me their game cards don't even. Most of them don't even contain the game.
Yeah.
It's just the game's not on there. It's just a portion of it, so it's not even a true physical media.
Sounds like Xbox.
So it's like, so then what's the point of having the game card then? It's like there's no point.
Can I just say also, if you were a Nintendo Switch buyer or lover, enjoyer in Australia, it costs you $469, assuming you bought it in the last year or so, right? $469. Let's say $470, just to make it easy. Okay, so that's fine, right? $470, perfect. Okay, cool. And now, if you want to buy the new one, it's $300 more. $300 over one gen for something that is a half step. Let's face it. If this was the console that people have
It's supposed to be a Pro. This was their Switch Pro.
This is a Switch Pro, bro. Let's call it.
But what happened is
this is
the
a Pro.
Switch 1 kept selling at such a high rate. They were like, we can't disrupt this shit. We're gonna keep it going. Digital Foundry said the chips. They said these chips were stamped on the chips. It's fucking 2020. So these things been available. It's been
this is you're not even getting current generation stuff like the 4K, the ray tracing, all that stuff. You're not getting any of that. This is just a
if you were getting that, it will be worth the price.
Yeah.
If you were getting the performance that people said that you would, it will be worth the price.
This console will make more sense if it was called the Switch Pro. Then it would make
that's what I
absolutely more
said.
sense.
Yeah,
But
it's a Switch Pro. But they waited so long, and now they're just gonna slap a 2 on it. They said they were about to name it Super Switch. Think about that. That's something you would think about that. They said that.
The Nintendo Super Switch. That shit
And
would be so
technically
dumb.
it is a Super Switch, right? It's not a successor. It's just
this is mad.
A beefier Switch 1.
Yeah. Oh man.
So and the micro SD Express cards are fucking expensive for the I got GameStop was gonna charge me like $200 for 1 terabyte card. I was like, fuck that. I'm out. I'm done.
Like, yo,
Let me go back on my side of the block.
He's like, bro, I became rich because I'm not stupid with my money, bro. What you thinking? This is some stupid shit. He's like, what the fuck? Oh man, Win Games. Super says, hold on, let me do some super just because it Win Games. He said you said catching up with the times E3 2015. I think he was talking about previous conversation. Thank you, Win Games. Oh, Wayne game. Oh shit, Wayne. Now I see the avatar. That's what I'm talking about. Wayne Tech. Nice. He's a Batman fan. Glassdoor Gamer. The GameCube flopped. Nintendo Wii was super successful. Wii U flopped. Switch super successful. Seems to be a pattern every other gen with Nintendo. Potentially, right? Gabriel with the super chat. Thank you. He says, canceled my Switch 2 pre-order and got a PSVR 2 and Razer Kitsune. Who said PSVR 2 ain't got games? I got about 5 games now, loving it so far. Yeah, I mean, it's a niche product, but man, it's a good product. And then we got Jenna Hayes with $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says P-Rock, this is a repeat of N64 PS1. Remember, N64 games cost more than PS1 games. $75 N64 games versus $50 PS1. Good point. Good point, Jenna. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. Thank you so much for rocking through. Don't forget to share it out and what you would call it. And if you don't mind, if you choose to, membership options are available. All right. I don't know. Nintendo's tripping. Nintendo's tripping, bro. Let's talk about.
Yeah, but I will say this.
Go ahead. Pop off.
I see a bunch of the Nintendo channels, the Nintendo dudes. They know it's a raw deal, but they got to defend this shit because they're obviously they're China. These dudes, man, this shit is sad seeing it, and it's
funny?
like, listen, man, it's crazy.
They should have stayed away from some of the things that are obvious sales. They should have stayed away from the multiplayer argument. They should have never got into that. Don't even bother. Don't talk about power. Don't talk about 4K. Don't talk about any of that stuff until Nintendo actually does it. Then you talk about it. But until it comes out, just be like, listen, it's a new Switch. We just want, new Nintendo games or more powerful hardware to what Nintendo's capable of doing. And then just stay there. And then that's it. That's all they had to do. And they'll be fine. But nope. They said, nah, we could get the ponies. Nah, bitch. Not with this shit. Not
Mhm.
with this shit. Fucking hell yeah. In fact, like, you know what? These Xbox, get out of here. Now we're gonna fuck with you for a little while. You just put
Exactly.
yourselves on the radar for no reason. You guys were fine
No
being
reason.
irrelevant. You know, they were fine being irrelevant, all right? But hey, listen, I'm gonna bring up something. This was talked about last week, but you know, the podcast wasn't. This was after the fact, you know, and I know this hurts J Dub's soul. Because listen, y'all can say what you want,
Mhm.
but you know, offline on the phone call, J Dub was so excited about the Xbox handheld. Yo, this broke his heart, man. This shit, yo, you listen, you guys have no idea. Out of all the people hurt, it's J Dub, bro. He's hurt.
Oh
He's hurt.
man.
He can't be hurt. He's hurt.
Hurt, hurt.
My man is hurt, bro. J Dub is, yo, out of
Hurt
all
like
the
his
products,
smooth.
he was more excited about this than the Pro. Oh, he could
Oh
not wait to
man.
play on his X-Boy. You know, he's on the plane,
Hmm.
he's on he in his private jet where he goes. Oh man, he was ready. And Xbox says, sorry, J Dub. We can't do it for you. It says Xbox
Oh
can keep a new
man.
console. I just want a handheld. It says right
Bruh.
here, Xbox rumored handheld consoles reportedly on hold as Microsoft focuses on making improvements to Windows 11 and supporting Project Keenan, a similar device on which it has partnered with Asus. That doesn't mean the Xbox handheld has been canceled, but it likely won't launch in 2025 as originally rumored. If that's true that the handheld's been pushed back, it looks like Xbox could have two console launch years in a row, with the handheld arriving in 2026 and its next gen home console in 27. That kind of seems like too much, too quick, but I have an easy solution. Cancel the home console altogether. Xbox trajectory is leading out of the console game. At this point, it almost seems strange that Xbox is planning to launch a next-gen console. It has been roundly
Yeah.
defeated by PlayStation, the PS5 era, and the PS4 era, and the Switch's generation straddling life cycle means it handily beat Xbox twice with a single console. Xbox seems to know that
Hmm.
it can't compete like it used to, but has been on a weird arc for the last few years as it tries to forge a new path. It went from having no games in the Xbox One and early Series XS years to having a whole lot of games, but not keeping any of them for itself. Doom Dark Ages was arguably the biggest Xbox release of the year so far, but it's also on PS5. Oblivion Remastered, Doom's main competition for the crown, is also on PS5. Xbox brought two games that were previously big exclusives, Indiana Jones: The Great Circle and Forza Horizon 5, to PS5 this year too. The biggest games that are actually Xbox exclusives in 2025: South of Midnight, a decidedly double A outing, and Obsidian's Avowed, a genuinely big AAA release. But given Obsidian's last two games, Ground and Pentiment, recently went multi-platform, and its next game, Our Wars 2, will be multi-platform from the start, it strains credibility to think Avowed won't move to PS5 sooner rather than later. Senua Sakurai, probably previously a big Xbox exclusive, is also getting a PS5 release soon. All that makes me and many other consumers indifferent to the Xbox Series XS. Why do I need to buy an Xbox console if I'll be able to play all the games it offers on my PS5 without too much of a wait? Indiana Jones pushed me to consider buying Series X, but I waited a few months and ended up completely fine without needing to buy another console. Feels like Xbox is giving PS5 players everything they could want. The handheld market could be friendlier to Xbox. A handheld is a different proposition entirely, especially because there isn't currently one on the market that specifically targets console players while offering the ability to natively play new AAA games. Sony's answer, the PlayStation Portal, requires a PS5 and a stable Wi-Fi connection. It's an accessory for existing PS5 owners, not a serious alternative. Not to mention that Xbox Cloud Gaming Tech could provide its handheld with the same functionality in addition to running games natively. The Switch 2, meanwhile, is a significantly beefed up handheld, but will not have select third-party AAA games. Borderlands 4, Dust Blood, Cyberpunk 2077, Split Fiction are a great start, but the console being weaker than other current-gen offerings means the ports will be a case-by-case basis. Given Xbox only one approach to its ecosystem, though, handheld owners would likely be able to play the entire Xbox library from day one. The best handheld machines like the Steam Deck and Asus ROG Ally are aimed at PC players, and that's a different audience. The Asus ROG Ally is a great handheld, but it doesn't have the same name recognition with console players like the Xbox does. The Steam Deck, like the PlayStation Portal, is most valuable if you're already in the ecosystem and want to play all the PC games you already own. But the Xbox handheld will have the benefit of its Game Pass subscription service, allowing new players to immediately gain access to a huge library of new and old games. If Xbox can keep the price fairly low, it has a real shot at carving out a path for itself in the handheld space. Still might not be not be competitive, but the next gen Xbox home console absolutely won't have a shot against PlayStation and Nintendo. It's too late. It lost too much ground. Xbox should pivot hard to handheld while it has a chance. All right. Anybody, any takers? What do you think of your thoughts that that delaying the Microsoft handheld was probably a bad idea, or at least just focus on the handheld. Don't worry about the console. Like the console's done, it's toast. Why even bother?
If they couldn't compete with Sony, right, in its space, what the fuck make them think they can compete with Nintendo in their space? They literally have never. I mean, I guess it's the same thing because nobody has ever defeated PlayStation, and nobody has ever defeated Nintendo in the handheld space.
Yeah.
So you're just moving out of one lane, jumping to another. Like you jumping in, you're in front of a Mack truck, right? And you jump into the second lane where there's another Mack truck. Like,
but Jacob, I will say
yeah.
this. But now that Nintendo is giving you 1080p Cyberpunk,
that's true.
And Xbox, their handheld will be like, wait a minute, this shit is 1080p 60 on our handheld.
Yeah,
easy, like default. Like all these games Nintendo's trying to use is 1080, and they're $70 or $60.
Here's the difference, and this is just
like a PS3
the way it
scenario.
is.
You know how you fuck up
Exactly.
with the PS3 and you like could Nintendo have given Xbox a way in? Maybe not to be dominant, but enough to be like, the 360 of the gen now, where you're good.
Okay,
you just you have a good gen.
Before they decide to become a third-party publisher, yes. Yeah. Right? But now think about it. Microsoft is going to be putting all its games on the Switch too. Right? They've already signed the deals. They've already did the, sign all the Boosteroid. They signed everybody up for these deals for all these games to go to the platform. So even if that was the case, even if Microsoft came out with a badass handheld that was cheaper and better than the Switch 2, they've still kind of already like their fate is already they've already chose their path. One thing about Nintendo, as much as dog shit the Switch 2 is, they have their exclusives that everybody's just going to want to buy. That's it. Like people going to want to buy Mario Kart. Exactly. Even though $80, say what you want, and all the shit I'm saying.
You know what? Yeah,
I've never once said the thing wasn't going to sell. There's just going to. There's just that fan base. They don't care. Like we're sitting up here saying the 1080p 30 and shit is unacceptable, but guess what? There's just a lot of people that will go out. Maybe not as much who bought the Switch 1, I don't think, but at least half. I think the Switch 2 will sell half of what the Switch 1 sold. And maybe to them, the extra $250 that they're gonna make over the Switch 1 is enough. Maybe that's enough, right? But Xbox, they no longer have that fan base like they used to. They don't have the ride or die. They don't have the diehards anymore. They remember it got whittled down. Yeah, the 360 they had 90 something people. Then Xbox One generation they ended like 50 million people, and now this generation they're maybe 30 million. They just don't have enough people. There's not enough Colt Eastwoods out there to make like Nintendo, right? It's like Nintendo. You got the kids. There's Xbox just don't have that type of people. I think people they want a handheld. They say they want a handheld because they want the console war to keep going, but they're not gonna go buy that shit. They didn't even buy the damn consoles that they brag about every day, that they talked about, that they hyped up. They didn't buy the Series X or the Series S. We know. Look at the numbers. We see the sales every month. We see MPD. We see how much it sells, right? It's so. I don't know, man. I don't think that handheld would have did anything. I think them canceling that handheld, just like Mikey Barra, he said it. He said same thing is going to happen with the console. They're getting out of the hardware space. It is what it is. If you can't see it at this time, if you can't see what's next in the road for them, like you're just blind at this point.
And I have a hot take.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
Here's my hot take. The reason that Nintendo hardware sells is because Nintendo makes games dedicated to their hardware, but not just to the performance of the hardware, but to the form factor of the hardware. Listen, here's my thing. I don't want to play God of War Ragnarok on the hardware, on the handheld. I don't. It's not that type of experience. Like most of us on the panel have a portal, right? And to
Yes.
me, I don't know how you guys use your portal, but to me, I curate the kind of games that I play on the portal. There are certain games that are way too involved for me to play even on the portal. And I mean, even if I'm at home, I'm not talking about Wi-Fi or lag or anything like that. It just doesn't feel good on a handheld form factor. And the thing is, Nintendo's games are simple enough in game design and they are tuned well in the visual presentation that on the handheld form factor, it works well. So my thing is, let's say that you came out with an Xbox handheld. Let's say that you made it powerful. Let's say it could run 4K 60. The question is, without even the price being considered, the question is how many experiences will be working well in that form factor? How many people are going to say, "Oh, I want to play The Witcher 4 on this handheld instead of on my bigger TV or monitor setup?" That's the thing for me, because then for me, then you have to start creating games. If you want to be successful, you have to start creating games that lend themselves not just to the hardware capability, but to the actual form factor that is going to be on. And I think that's why these Steam Decks haven't sold, these ROG Allies haven't sold. Because at the end of the day, people look around and they're like, you know what? Do I really want to play CF6 on this handheld? No. Do I really want to play Team Fortress 2 on this handheld? No. So what am I going to use the handheld for? Yes, it's good that I can do it. And so many people act like just because you can do it means that the majority of people are just going to choose to do it. Like, again, I don't know. Are there the experiences? I reckon that the reason that these PC handhelds haven't sold and they're going to continue to undersell by relative to the performance of the hardware is simply going to be that the experiences that would feel good in a handheld form factor are not being created because AAA games, most AAA games, do not feel good in a handheld form factor, right? Like most things, you want that immersive experience, and all of us are gamers, and we've all invested the money to get that bigger cinematic experience, you know? And even for parents that that have never invested in gaming and everything like that, all of them already have a 65-inch TV, right? Like all of them already have this thing as part of the normal TV watching habit. So then they'll be like, okay, then why am I going? Like, it's very cool. It's good to have the portal, but for me, I played the portal with games that feel good on the portal. Like when I played Dave the Diver feels great on the portal.
Yeah.
But it's not like a freaking Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not going to play Ghost of Yote the first time around on my portal. Maybe after I played 90 hours of it and I'm just doing the trophy cleanup and I'm just going around and I already know the areas and I've already taken the game in, then maybe I'm going to use it on the portal. But the first time that I'm playing through it, I'm not picking up my portal to play, man. Same thing with Clear Obscure. Like, again, simple game, it's turn by turn, but I just didn't want to play it on my portal. Now that I'm going to do like, the new game plus and whatever, sure, I'll pick it up on the portal, but it's just like, you guys get what I mean? It's just not a good experience in a
No, I
handheld
agree.
form factor, regardless of how powerful the hardware is. Even if I could have 4K 60 from a PlayStation handheld, I'm not going to play Intergalactic for the first time through that way unless I have to. Like if I'm like traveling and this is just the only thing that I have, right? Then sure, I'm going to do it. And I understand for some people that is the situation they're in, right? There might be truckers, there might be people that travel all the time. So for them having something like a Steam Deck and everything like that, that is the thing that they need to do in order to enjoy the games that they want to enjoy. So I get that. I understand. But if they were at home and they were next to the freaking $4,000 PC rig and the $3,000 monitor that is ultra wide and they can put mods on it and everything, why would you play that particular kind of experience? Like again, The Witcher 4, let's say The Witcher 4 as an example. Why would you play The Witcher 4 on your Steam Deck if you have the option to play it on your bigger gaming setup, whether that is through a console or whether that is through a PC and monitor. I just don't think it makes sense.
Well, that's because you're absolutely right. Those games are big, ex- big experiences. They're made for the big screen. They're not made
Yeah,
small. But Dave the Divers, like even me, I'm on my portal all the time. I'll be playing Hill Divers if I'm like, you know what I'm saying, if my kid is, if somebody's on, at my gaming little station and stuff like that. So I'll go in another room and I'll get on my portal playing with Craig. We're playing Hell Divers, but it's like mindless fun. It's not a
yeah,
cinematic experience. It's quick, fast. You can just have fun and then you can turn it off whenever you're done. But the type of games you're talking about, like those are cinematic experiences where you want to play them on a big screen TV with your surround sound or with your
yeah,
headphones or 3D audio headphones. And so that's why that experience is a whole different curated experience for you. Playing that on a small screen, you wouldn't get half the experience. It wouldn't be enjoyable.
yeah. Absolutely. Like it's a difference between watching like a movie, like a big, like freaking Interstellar on your phone versus
Yeah,
IMAX. Like you want to
yeah.
go to IMAX to watch a movie like that.
Yeah. Like I
Whereas
watch
if it's like a
podcasts,
bullshit,
I'll watch the
yeah,
podcast on my phone, right?
exactly.
But if I'm watching a movie, I'm gonna watch it on the TV. I don't want to watch a movie on my phone.
Yeah,
Two totally
and I
different things.
feel And I feel like people ignore that. They just think that, oh, if somebody makes a portable handheld powerful enough, right? Everybody's
Mhm.
gonna go out and rush it. And in this way, I agree with Nintendo. There's really no point in you making a 4K 60 handheld, right? In
Mhm.
fact, the handheld they came out with is fine. It's just the price it's just overpriced. But in terms of like keeping low power, because at the end of the day, cinematic type experiences is not where these kind of things are going to shine. Even if PlayStation was to port The Last of Us Part 2 to the Switch, who is going to pick up the Switch to play The Last of Us Part 2 on it? Like, bro, it's not the kind of experience. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel
Mhm.
right. Anyways, that's just my thought.
Mhm. Okay. That's kind of like why I enjoyed the Portal, because when they designed it to where you can actually enjoy the game on it, but
Mhm.
at the same time it's a component to the PS5. Because like I enjoyed it, but I still when I'm home, I'm here, I'm playing on my PS5 Pro. The
Yeah.
Portal now just I no longer have to travel with my PS5 Pro no more. So that saves me having
Yeah.
luggage and stuff like that, right? Whatever. But when I'm home, I'm playing my PS5 Pro. When I'm away from my PS5 Pro, I got my Portal, but they designed it to where it's enjoyable. Just it's weird, right? Because it looks like they just split the controller, but it still feels like a normal controller because it literally is a normal controller. It's not a handheld controller, which is just square and boxy. It's a normal, legit DualSense controller with a nice big screen, and that's minimalist, and it's just a screen right in the middle, right? So it works great portability wise. But when I'm home, I'm playing on my Pro. That's just really what it is. Like the Portal, as nice as it is, I'm not playing on my Portal in my house. Like, nah, I got the big boy right here and stuff like that. But it's a great companion device, all right? But
Yeah.
the only thing I could think of, like with the Xbox, like I agree with J Dub that I am really wondering if Microsoft's actually going to go through with a console because it just doesn't make sense. And I hear the rumors, I see the podcast, I'm listening to it. This whole weird hybrid stuff, it just doesn't make sense, right? Like the whole hybrid
Mhm.
console or like the hybrid PC console, it doesn't make sense. So Microsoft's gonna release a device that's like a console, but it's a PC that can play Steam. So you're gonna sell a console potentially at a loss, and you're gonna include a store where if games are bought within that store, you
You
make
don't
no
get none of the
money off
money.
it unless it's your own games and you get a 70% cut. You don't even get the 400 because at least
Yep.
on your own store it's the 400 because it's your own Xbox store. But on the Steam, you don't get the 400. You get 70 because Steam gets 30. And you're going to encourage that on your own console? That
Mhm.
financially doesn't make sense. It's just weird. It just I think people are just piecing together what they would like as a gamer because it sounds great. An Xbox
Yeah.
console that allows you to play Steam library, right? But think about the financial mechanics to that. If Microsoft allows the Steam library, the Steam storefront on their console, any game, let's say if they buy Assassin's Creed on the Steam store, Microsoft doesn't get a cut. So why are you providing the hardware, right? And then on the flip side, the developers will be like, wait a minute. If the new Xbox console has Steam packed in every single console, it's part of it, why would I make an Xbox version of a game? I can just focus on the PC version through Steam and the PlayStation. And the Xbox gamers will get access to it anyway. We don't have to spend any extra time or money actually making a game for the Xbox store. It's just be for the Steam store, which the Xbox gamers have access to. So now you got games not even being made for the Xbox store at all, unless it's Game Pass. Unless they make a deal for Game Pass, that's the only reason to make the Xbox version of the game, because it's on Game Pass. Steam's not connected and integrated to Game Pass. So you got developers taking the easiest route with like, no, we're just going to make the PC version through Steam, right? And the PlayStation version. Because Xbox gamers got access to the Steam version anyway. They don't have to go through the Xbox store. They could just go through the Steam store and install it on their hybrid console. That shit don't make sense. It's a great PC. It's a great console gamer's dream. But the business side don't make sense at all. That just doesn't make sense. That's just Microsoft's literally killing their own store to where now the only people that will make games is if they're interested in Game Pass. If they're not interested in Game Pass, they're not going to make the game for your store. There's no point. It's literally double the work for the same person that has access to the game anyway. The shit
and a lot of
Powerball is
developers
in, right?
A lot of developers are skipping the platform, period. Anyway.
Yeah.
They don't find the value in it. They don't think they're going to get the return on investments out of it. So
So shout out to Powerball. So I know he's a PC gamer and stuff like that. Does that make sense to you? Microsoft's strategy to allow Steam on their console, which literally would hamper their own stuff. Imagine Steam
I can see the goods and bads of it.
Okay.
I can see the goods and bads of it.
Go ahead, give us your view.
Okay, judging from listening to what you three were saying, I agree with you. From the business side of things, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. It's pro-consumer, pro-gamer, but business side, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Now, on the flip side of that, there is one positive about it. Okay. What are console to PC ports and vice versa known for? Okay, 3 things. Cross-play, cross-save, cross-progression, right? Now, what if by doing this, they introduce something new? And, don't bash me for this because it's not going to sound business sense-wise either, but what if they implement something new? How about cross-buy?
Who's good? No. All right. So no. It's all right. How will Steam approve of that?
Because if you can buy it, if you buy it, okay, and they make the Steam version only.
Okay, well, let's talk about cross-buy with what? Cross-buy with what? Let's start there.
You buy it on the Xbox, you buy it on Steam, doesn't matter. Okay, if you buy it, Steam gets their cut, Microsoft gets their cut, however they work out the deal, and you can play it on both, and you only buy one copy. And if it's PC Anywhere with the cloud play, it works with that too.
You can do that now, right?
Doesn't Steam have that anyway? Like, if you buy a game on Steam, it plays on any device that has Steam.
Not with every game, though.
Like what? Can you give an example?
Vampire Survivors. If you buy that on Steam, it doesn't cross over to your Xbox or your PlayStation.
No, but that's because there's no Steam store on the console. That's why. But if Microsoft says we're going to put a Steam store on the console, Valve could say, all right, cool. Oh, but we want this deal. They'll be like, no, you want Steam store? Cool. But we're not making no deals with you. We don't need you.
And that's possible.
Now if Microsoft goes, we'll just put Steam store anyway. All right, cool. Put Steam store.
Now, the only thing that I can see about this is, say it's an Xbox IP now. Xbox has more than enough publishers under their belt right now that they're pushing out games left, right, and center. Okay, there's no denying that Xbox is pushing out games. Good or not, that's up to the subjective opinion of the buyer.
Oh yeah.
So, Now, what if they say, okay, as an Xbox game, okay, we're going to, continue to put this on PC day one on your store, and you'll still get your 30% cut because it's on Steam. We'll get our 70%, but now because it's on Steam, okay, they only have to buy it once. So if they go and buy it on Steam instead, then if they buy it directly from Steam instead of Xbox, then Steam will get a 70% cut instead of Xbox. It'd be reversed.
Yeah, but 99% of the people will just buy it on Steam.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. If you
Jada pointed this out, and so did M. Okay. Judging from those charts of the Steam survey, it's only a small portion of the gaming community, right? Now, how many of those PCs that are on that list are better than a console right now? Series S, Series X, PS5, or PS5 Pro? According to that list, hardly any of them, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to have at least a 3070 or better to even be in the same talking room to compare. Right.
Yeah.
Now, I have a 2060 Super. I make no qualms about that. I can play just about every single game that's on release right now. The only one I haven't tried too well is Doom the Dark Ages. I played it on my Series X. I haven't tried to play it on my computer yet. Okay. And it has forced ray tracing. So I don't know if my computer is going to be able to handle it well, if at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, since my computer where I prefer to game, okay, for whatever reason can't play a game that just come out like Doom the Dark Ages, I bought it on Steam. Yeah, I can upgrade my PC hardware later to play it, but until then, I have the console. Okay. And right now, if they do this, PlayStation is unfortunately going to be the only ones left out of it. And technically Nintendo too. Because that hardware is... Yeah, let's not get into that.
Can I ask you this? Can I ask you this? I'm going to ask you one question.
Go ahead.
All right. With this whole scenario that you brought, what problem is that fixing for Microsoft or Steam? Like, what problem is there? Because generally these companies operate on there's a problem and we want to fix it, right? That's their goal. The problem, fix it. What problem is this fixing, right? Most people know Steam
Okay, I'll get
on
to that.
PC, right? But if you're a console gamer, you could care less about Steam unless you own a PC. So what problem are you solving?
What is the one thing that Microsoft lacks?
Creativity,
fan base,
talent,
selling consoles. Selling consoles.
Yeah.
They've got somewhere in the realm of 34 million at last count, right? And it's about half of what the PlayStation is. But how many of those are Series X and Series S? It's probably a lot more Series S than Series X because it was the affordable console at the time. Okay. Now, what does Steam lack? What does PC gaming lack?
I don't know.
I mean, a good operating system. Windows is pretty shit.
Consistent consistent players.
Oh, okay.
What? Steam has consistent players. Come on, mate.
Yeah. They're consistent with playing Dota.
It's not the Epic Games
They're consistent with playing CSGO. They're consistent with playing all the low-powered games.
It's only in certain games, big AAA budgets or AA budgets like Clair Obscure indie games that actually take off and show big numbers. Look at Elden Ring, the Night Rain that just released.
Yeah.
Sold 2 million copies or something like that in the first day it was on. It's getting mixed reviews, but people are still playing it in the 300,000s on a consistent basis because it's a fun game. It's a new twist on what people love to do. Okay. Now, if you buy that on Steam, because for whatever reason there's, problems with the console and you have to wait for patches, right? What is it that you're always saying about PC gamers?
That they're miserable?
That they love to do.
They're miserable. This guy is so terrible.
Exactly, J-Dub. They play with mods. Now, if you buy your Xbox version, and you get the PC version with Steam for free, And as long as you have one copy, you have the other copy. You can play it consistently vanilla on your console, and you can play it with mods if you so choose to on Steam.
Okay, this is why. Let me tell you why that won't work.
Yeah, that ain't gonna
Microsoft
work.
is going. They're attaching everything based to their subscription service. What does PC gamers? What do they hate more than anything? Subscription services, right? And
Yes.
so, how are you going to counteract that? If I'm a PC gamer and you're telling me I can just buy the game on Steam and play it on my Xbox, or buy it on Xbox and play it on my PC via Steam, um, why would I listen? If I have a PC, why would I venture to console anyway? Like,
No.
if you're really a PC gamer, why would you care about console at all?
Because how many
Especially if
people?
you're a PC gamer, especially dealing with PC and Xbox itself, right? Because it's basically trying to replicate itself.
It is.
Why? You have no there is no
Now,
exclusives
now
from them, right?
I
There
did
is no reason.
I did preface this with saying it doesn't make a whole lot of business sense. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out when it launches. But
Yeah,
as of right now, this is just my speculation. Okay,
yeah.
I don't know my ass from my elbow as far as what Microsoft is doing or planning. This is just me spitballing.
Yeah.
What the things that I can see, good and bad, about what they're doing.
Mhm.
Okay, you and M and Portera, you all made absolutely valid points about against it, and I'm on board with that. I can perfectly see that. The only thing that makes any lick of sense is the cross library. How well that's going to work out, who knows?
I will say this. I will say this. To your point with saying that, the only way I see Microsoft wanting to do something like this is if they are definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, exiting the console business, and they know all of these console gamers that are left have this long library, and they're gonna scream and cry about, I bought 1,000 games generations ago, and what's gonna happen with my library? If they found some kind of way to transfer that library over to Steam, they can say, hey, get you a PC and you sign in and your whole library is there. Good luck.
Now,
Go do it that way, but we're getting out of hardware. I could see that with them transitioning away from console from their box to PC. I could
now
see that some kind of
Kind
way, but
of.
other than that,
you just
it
hit
makes
something.
sense.
You just hit something very important there. Okay,
Mhm.
past libraries, not current libraries, past libraries. Okay, Xbox 360, Xbox One, OG Xbox.
Yeah.
Right
hmm
now, we know that they're making a new console. When it's going to come out, who knows?
Do we? Do we?
They've said it. Whether it gets canceled and shelved or not, that's still
Yeah.
yet to be determined.
Yeah, they said they were making a handheld too, and
Yes.
they've said a lot of stuff, so we don't know. They said there's only
Okay.
4 games.
I know.
We just
Okay, Jay.
no. I'm just saying, do not whatever you do
It's
not
true.
hold Microsoft. Do not
To
hold
the letter of the
Microsoft
law,
to
Microsoft cannot
anything
be
that they
held.
say.
Yeah,
No,
they cannot
I
be
get
held
it.
to the letter of the
Because
law.
Sarah
They cannot
Bond
be
came
held
out and said these are the games you'll be playing in the next 12 months, and only like two of those games came
Yeah,
around.
they can't be
She
held
also
to the letter of
said
the
there's
law.
going to
Yeah,
be this mobile push, this mobile stuff that hasn't came. Do not hold them for what they say. Trust me,
to the letter of
I'm
the
they
not.
law.
will
Yeah.
change tomorrow.
Absolutely, it could. Now, my speculation with this whole Xbox branded handheld, okay, what if they're trying to do something like the Switch and the Switch 2?
It could. It could.
That's the only possible thing that I can even remotely think of them still doing a console and trying to break into the handheld market. The Switch has done it. Microsoft is good at their software because that's what they built their brand on. Windows, So I can see them trying to seamlessly make it. Now, what's one of Xbox's biggest problems right now after acquiring ABK?
The biggest problem, they put their games on PlayStation.
Besides that,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, at that point,
how many
it's just bad.
storefronts do they have?
Okay, their
They have the
storefront. They have the
Windows.
They have the PC. They have the PC and the Xbox storefront.
They have the Windows storefront. They have
Mhm.
PC Game Pass. They have Xbox Storefront Game Pass, and now they have the ABK BattleNet, which is World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft is still huge. Now, whether or not they're going to do something with that, that's something completely different. Now, during that debate with Josh that you were having when you were talking about World of Warcraft, they do have controller support for it on PC. It very well and very easily could come probably as far back as
if you could play World of Warcraft with a controller, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't know how good it is, but it is there.
Ah.
I have seen it. Don't get me wrong. It's not pretty looking, but you absolutely can. And the specs are ridiculously old, so it can absolutely play on probably as old as the Xbone and the PS4. Why they haven't ported it to consoles as of yet, I imagine it's going to take a while to do. It's a
some
large
people
game.
in the chat, they're saying that has to be a nightmare. I don't know. I never played World of Warcraft, but some of the inputs on that game, I'm like, on the controller.
I don't know if you remember a couple months back, there was an interview with the lead developer for the Xbox Hyper Architecture. Ronald, I believe his name was. Ronald. And he was saying in that interview that they're trying to come up with a new seamless experience from moving between console and PC. What if this Windows 12 update and whatever they move forward with, and the reason why they pushed back the console, or not the console, the handheld release, is because they're trying to unify those 4 storefronts. So then they only have to manage 2 markets, Steam and Xbox. However, Xbox forms takes. It's going to roll the Windows Store, the PC Game Pass app, the Xbox Game Pass Store, and the BattleNet Store all rolled into one. Because remember, starting with Avowed, they started putting their games directly onto BattleNet. You could buy it on BattleNet for PC, not even on Steam. And if you got the PC BattleNet app, you got the Xbox version.
Right. So here's the thing I have disagreement with yours. You're saying stuff that, I'm going to be honest, I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense. I'm going to tell you why. The first part is Microsoft doesn't manage Steam. We have to look at Steam for what it is. It is technically a competitor to Microsoft. Let's call it what it is.
Absolutely.
Steam, yeah, you see what I'm saying? Steam is a client and storefront that if you buy games on Steam, right, Microsoft loses money. We're talking about Grand Theft Autos and, Assassin's Creed, Vampire, whatever, Witcher 3, Witcher 4, Cyberpunk. If you're buying on Steam, that means Microsoft makes no money. Steam is its own thing. I don't think Gabe has any issues with his storefront, and if he does, he's going to resolve it himself. He's not going to rely on Microsoft. Like, for example, if I was Gabe, why would I rely on Microsoft to fix a console issue when they can't even resolve their own console issues? If anything, I'm staying far away from their console as possible in terms of some type of problem, right? So now, if Steam is on an Xbox console, right, I don't think Steam is going to have any problems with it because that's just more devices that their store is on. But that doesn't mean Valve is going to make a deal concession like, let's make a deal, do 50-50. And if a gamer buys it on Steam, then it works on Xbox Store. Valve's going to be like, no, that's not my problem. If you want to install Steam, like technically speaking, they don't even need really permission from Steam. This is, and I'm going to get there to my point on what I think they're really doing, right? Microsoft installs Steam on their console is because the reality is it's not a console. It's a PC. That's what they're doing. They're not selling you a console. They're giving you a PC.
Absolutely.
But they're trying to make themselves the good guy, like, we're gonna give console access to Steam. No, that's what happens when you buy PC. You have access to Steam, Epic Game Store. You just bought a PC, right? So why would Microsoft do that?
Absolutely.
Why would they release a PC? It's because
the only thing that I can think of is cross libraries.
No, it's not because of cross library. It's because they don't want to make consoles no more. Because making a console,
and that very well could be true.
No, yeah, but listen, making a console is because They have to invest in specific hardware to build it together, like the Xbox Series and X, and then they have to sell it to you at a loss so they could build that market share. They're done with that. They don't want to create a device to sell at a loss and to be like invest in all these crazy architecture, bespoke hardware, have Ronald Isley, whatever his name is, do all this weird shit and do cooling. They don't want to do that shit no more. They want pre-built PCs done out there.
So you want to hear a weird loop for this?
Wait, hold up. The only thing they're going to do and what they are concerned about is simply the software. How can we get Windows 11 to be able to play the Xbox library games? That's it. They just want to solve that problem. So that way, when you go to PC and you buy this PC and gamers like, can I play what I've been playing on my console? Microsoft says, yes. Could we resolve the software side of it? We emulation, whatever they did, all those digital games you bought on your Series X, on your Xbox One, they will still work on this new platform that's just PC. You will not miss out on your game simply because you cut over from console to PC. There you go. I think that's what this whole thing is about. Nothing more.
Also, you heard about that Sonic Unleashed recompile, right?
No.
So I don't know who exactly did it, but there was a big thing just recently about Sonic Unleashed getting recompiled. Okay, this is a game that was locked to the PS2 or PS3 era and the Xbox 360 era. Never been remade, and it can't work on modern consoles, not even the series consoles. It is not backwards compatible at all whatsoever, hands down, period. It was not even emulatable on PC until the longest time. Somebody came out and did a recompile of the game from the ground up where it is workable currently on PC. So if there is some way that you can use your new console from Xbox, okay, even if it's just to read a legitimate disc and upload the license to your account that way, then you have your backwards compatibility library digitally. It just won't be physical. And I know that's a big turnoff for a lot because a lot of people like physical. And that's one of the benefits that Xbox still has is if you have a disc drive console for the series consoles, then you have that backwards compatibility. If you're just brand new getting into Xbox, then the Series S or the all digital X is perfectly fine for you because now you're only just building your library. You don't have all that nostalgia. You can't go back and get all those games. You'd have to buy them outright, one way or the other, preferably, probably digital. So if they implement this recompile software so that they can build games from the ground up of games that you own, that you still have the physical discs for, that's the only thing that Microsoft is going to have over PlayStation until PlayStation can manage to get the PS3 emulated properly onto the PS5.
Can I? Okay, I missed out on a few things that you said, so I'm just going to make a few points. Number one, on your latest thing, backwards compatibility doesn't sell anything. Okay, backwards compatibility is this thing that people say that they want, that they don't give a fuck about once they have it. Okay, the Series X has a more extensive backwards compatibility platform than the PS5, and that shit is selling the way that it's selling. Like nobody gives a fuck about backwards compatibility except for people on Twitter that will subsequently not use it. The other thing that I want to say is that the whole Steam integration thing, actually, no, let's go back to the article. The article suggested that they had shelved the PlayStation, the Xbox handheld in favor of making Windows 11 more compatible with blah, blah, blah. Listen, why can't these people just accept the bad news? Why is there always that, oh no, they did this so that they could do this other thing?
No, I absolutely agree with you on that, M.
My thing is simply this. This Xbox handheld was never, ever promised from Xbox. Oh, they suggested it, they hinted at it, they teased it, and they gave open gate answers. What I mean by open gate answers are answers that when they were asked the question, they were like, yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yep. But those answers were never like, yeah, we're doing this, we're researching this. Same thing with this Windows. Listen, you said before at one point that Microsoft has good software. I fully disagree. Windows is absolute garbage. Absolutely
I never said it
garbage.
was
The
the
only
best
thing,
software.
no, it's not even good. Okay,
That can extreme.
the
I
only
never
thing,
said it was good.
Okay.
no, you said Microsoft is good at software, and I would say that not.
I said
The
it's the
only
only
thing
thing
that
that they do good. I didn't
Okay,
say
well
it overall was good.
that's better. That's better than before. But here's the
Okay.
thing. I think the only thing keeping them at the top of the PC ecosystem is that now they are too big and they are too monopolistic to let other people basically come into and challenge them. Okay, they got their head start and then they just bought up any company that could possibly have challenged them. But it is what it is. The thing about this whole hardware thing that you keep talking about is that Microsoft has no interest in creating more hardware. That's it. That's the bad news there. They have no interest. There's nothing about the business that is aligned with, oh yeah, let's create one more piece of hardware, whether that's a handheld, whether that is a freaking I don't even know, whether that's a console, whether that's some kind of hybrid between Windows and Steam. There is nothing about the business model that says, yeah, more hardware is the answer. If anything, like everybody keeps saying, less hardware seems to be the answer. The less they create hardware, the more they actually lean into what you said, the positive, right? The only thing they do good is software. So I just don't understand why people don't want to let it go. I don't see a next Xbox coming out, whether that's a handheld, a mobile phone, a laptop, like, but even the Surface, they sidelined. And Surface for a while was actually successful. So I don't know, man. You guys can
No,
keep going.
I totally get you, Em. That is perfectly valid and understandable about them wanting to move away from hardware, sticking to software, and all of that. They very well absolutely could be looking to exactly do just that. We don't know. The only rumor, or I should say confirmation rumor that we have is when when Phil Spencer was directly asked about it, he said he wasn't going to comment. That's Sarah Bond's ballpark. That's the only confirmation that we have. We don't know anything about it. Somebody said it was years off still, and it very well could be shelved permanently. It very well could. Everybody else is the ones, Twitter and podcasters and all these different sources, Jez Coordinate, Windows Central, that are running with, this, that, and the other. Wasn't it Windows Central themselves that leaked the screenshot of the new UI for Xbox storefront where it had Steam listed on there as a searchable or like a tag filter or something to search everything that was on Steam?
I have no idea how that happened or what happened there. But what I would say is this.
It was just a while
So a
ago.
lot of people saying that Microsoft is working on a Windows version for handheld. Understand that Microsoft never bothered to optimize Windows for laptops. And laptops have been selling ever since pretty much the first one was created. So I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I don't see how anything about gaming points to Microsoft releasing more hardware.
And I agree. Like I said, Microsoft's worst or Xbox's worst department is selling hardware.
So here's the thing, right? In order to get, and this has just been traditional, right? This has been traditional. You need the hardware to sell the games,
Absolutely.
right? But if you can't sell the hardware, the less games you're going to be able to sell. Now, Microsoft has ventured and basically transitioned over to a third-party publisher. They're equivalent to a EA, a Rockstar, or a Take-Two, Ubisoft. They're in that realm now, right? Full-heartedly, they're there now. It doesn't benefit them to be in the hardware space at all. It doesn't benefit them. Matter of fact, it's just a waste of money because they're spending billions of dollars on R&D for stuff that they know people are not going to buy. We all know these, if they release a handheld or if they release a next generation console, we know it's not going to sell. They've already devalued the reason of buying that, right? The fact that you can just buy one console, play that console's exclusives, play the third party games, and play the Xbox games on it. Right? Just an all that PlayStation has become an all-in-one box. In Xbox made that happen. Microsoft made that happen. Why would they just want another? Well, you can, yeah, you can get a PlayStation, but if you just, you can just, we're just gonna throw something out there and you can have it too. Like nobody's gonna buy that. Nobody's buying it now. So it just, I know guys they just want to have another box out there, even though they're not going to buy to support it. They just want it to be there for comfort for some reason, but it just doesn't make business sense at all. And for those people that
The
say, well,
only
there's 30 million Xboxes out there, what about those gamers? Well, there's almost 100 million PlayStation gamers that Microsoft is picking up. There's already 150 million Nintendo gamers out there that Microsoft is going to pick up, right? Or let me put it this way: there's PlayStation and Nintendo fan base collectively that they're going to pick up. That far exceeds anything those little peddly 30 million Xbox console gamers are going to give them. So why should
absolutely.
they care? They didn't promise you a next generation console. They promised you the one that you purchased already, and they are fulfilling their promise with that for the rest of this generation. So they'll tell you, like they told you before, as long as you keep your console, your games will be there. If that
Absolutely.
console dies, buy another one if you can get your hands on it. But I mean, nobody cries about the Xbox 360 or the OG Xbox. What about your games or your library there? Well, you still have those systems in your collection if you want, right? So
I mean, I
I
still have
just
buckets of this upstairs.
this exactly this need or this want from a certain fan base, a certain people to just have Xbox. I'm like this. I wouldn't just want PlayStation just to be around, just to be around. If they're not fucking delivering what I want, if they're not trying to be the best, why would you just be there? Phil has already said they can't beat Nintendo, they can't beat PlayStation. Why just be third place? Why just settle for that and just keep wasting money? Cut your weakest part, which is the hardware, cut that out, and just make shitload of money by like they're doing now, putting their games on PlayStation and Nintendo.
And they
They're
very
gonna
well
make more
might.
money, and they're making money. They're gonna make more money than they ever have, and they
Mhm.
are. But why? Why I don't see it. It could
Mhm.
happen. I'm not saying it's
Right.
not gonna happen, but it just makes no fucking sense at
Let me
all.
do
Yeah,
some
what's up,
super
Ghost?
chats real quick. Let me do some super
Okay.
chats real quick. Glassdoor Gamer, Astrobot, about to go at Nintendo. Astro Party next. Oh man, Astro Kart. Oh my God. John Baptiste with $10 super chat. Thank you, my brother. John said, "You don't ask a deadbeat dad to have more children, so why would anyone want Xbox to make more hardware when you don't care about current ones that are out now, right now?" Oh Lord,
Oh
John.
man,
John says
you ain't
Xbox
lying.
is Microsoft's the deadbeat dad. Oh wow.
Oh man.
Glassdoor Gamer. Oh wait, hold up. It jumped. It jumped real quick. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Power Boss uses cases are so niche or relevant. I think the cross buy. Yeah, that's one thing, a point I didn't talk about because you mentioned the PC gamer and the console gamer. That, but like the whole cross buy, it sounds great, right? Oh, you buy one game, you can play it everywhere. The problem
Hey,
is
I
who.
absolutely said I was spitballing with that.
No. But yeah, but keep in mind though, and I hear that all the time. Cross buy entitlement, cross buy entitlement. It sounds great, but here's the reality. Who is actually in mass going to do that? Have a console and a PC. Chances are you have one of if they do both the same exact thing, there's very few households that have a PC and I got an Xbox. That's a
Well,
very
I can
small
give one
crowd.
example. I can give
Small
one
crowd.
example.
What?
Kids.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's a small crowd. That's a very small crowd. That's why if it
Because
was that big, look how big the PC audience is, right? And look
1
how
billion
small the
gamers.
and look how small the console audience is.
About 130 million, yeah.
No, I'm talking about Xbox with the cross by entitlement. There's only 34 million Xbox, so clearly there's
Yeah.
not a lot of cross by entitlement happening. It's just
Absolutely
not.
not.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of the console guys don't have PCs. A lot of the PC guys don't have an Xbox console because they're like, why am I going to buy an Xbox console? I'd rather get a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation so I can get a different experience that I can't get or it's timed or whatever on the console. A like for
And that
like
is perfect.
platform.
That is perfectly.
You see?
Also,
So
P-Rock, with the
yeah.
title, with the tournament, you would have seen a bigger explosion of Game Pass subscribers, right? Those people transition from console to PC or both or anything like that,
Absolutely.
right? And so you are seeing growth, but it's solely, if you ever notice that whenever they talk about growth, it's growth solely on the PC side, right? And so they're taking advantage of PC Game Pass, which is cheaper than console Game Pass. And the writing's been on the wall for a while, right? As far as, you know, this is an Xbox and the kind of like the slow progressive train wreck, which is their hardware. And so to J-Dub and to Ian and even to your point, as far as why would they introduce more hardware when that's been their Achilles heel. And now that they have this push with, you know, PC Game Pass and then everything's an Xbox, so you can play anywhere strategy. It makes just it's clear as day. It's not as clear as day that they're going for, of course, the Game Pass model, but they're third party publishing and putting their games everywhere because they're seeing success in it, and they're seeing success with older games, right? With Forza that's been 4 or 5 years, with an Elder Scrolls, you know, remaster, and they're having some monochrome of success with it. So, I mean, it looks going forward that this is the new reality is that, and I don't think they'll just, what they'll do is they'll do a slow rollout of taking away the consoles from, of course, your brick and mortar storefronts, and then you'll start seeing, then it'll go to the online. You'll see the slow rollout. And you'll hear the cap, and oh man, Xbox are so hard to find. No, they're just not taking some bitches anymore. You know, and that's the reason why you can't find them. And so they just won't continue like all at once. Like they'll slow roll out, more territories will lose.
You got the Josh Edis internet.
I think you're coming in as a robot.
No, you're botting out.
You're botting.
I'm botting now.
Yeah, the Josh.
Hold on. You good now?
You got attacked by Josh.
You good now? Go say something.
This is what happens. This is what happens to console market. This is what happens. No amount of Magic games.
It's just the point. Magic games and to console market. Yeah, so it's just a slow. It's gonna be a slow rollout, and they'll put more and more emphasis on games everywhere. And you'll start seeing some of their bigger titles, the Perfect Darks, the Fables, launching day and date on PlayStation. And when that happens, it is what it is. When that happens, as we're seeing it happen slowly now, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I was about to say we're already doing it now with Doom Dark Ages already. You know, Expedition 33.
I'm telling you, Gears E-Day is finally going to be the wake-up call. Gears E-Day is going to be the final. What? No, but the Reloaded is a remaster, so it's technically an old game, right? E-Day is the final, like, that's it. Like,
and the possible Gears collection.
Yeah, you know, E-Day is it. The brand new entry of Gears of War. You know, but then they'll be like, well, they're going back to the beginning, so that still don't count. Like, they're gonna like Gears, E-Day, and the new Halo. And then at that point, it's over. You know what I'm saying? But they're holding on to some type of stipulation. Like, oh, Gears is an old game and they're just remastering, so that don't count as part of the trilogy. You know, they create a new metric. So once Gears E-Day is day and day, and the new Halo is announced in day and day, that's when it's finally over and we could get over the nonsense. Let me do some super chats some more. Glassdoor Gamer, Steam looking to get away from Windows, and Xbox fans wants to abduct Steam Valve. That's the crazy part, because Steam is pushing Steam OS. Like, so not only is Steam a competitor on a storefront, they're trying to be a competitor at the OS level versus Windows. That's why I don't understand the strategy. Like, oh yeah, Steam's going to save us. I'm like, yo, have you not seen what Steam is talking about? They want Steam OS to be the default OS for gaming. So they're competing with Microsoft, or they're trying to compete with Microsoft on the fundamental level of Sure, Windows is the all-round PC, Windows OS across everything, right? But for gaming, does it really have to be? Like, does Windows OS have to be the de facto gaming OS? When, think about it. If SteamOS makes a competent OS and developers like, holy shit, this shit is really good, the only thing they need is to make sure that it's run on all these current PC hardware configurations where you don't need to install Windows no more. You can install SteamOS and all your games will run better, smoother, more optimized, well integrated with the Steam client, all this stuff. Windows will still be around because you got to send email. Windows is always going to be around because you got email and PowerPoint and all the productivity and cameras. Even in a world with SteamOS, let's say SteamOS in 10 years is the dominant OS for gaming. Extreme is still going to use Windows because he still has his camera production. SteamOS is not going to do that. It's not meant. He's on Mac anyway, right? So yeah, he's done. He's done. But you see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like Steam is like trying to fuck up Windows OS with Steam OS and make that the baby for gamers. So it's like I don't understand this Microsoft strategy in a lot of stuff. But good on you, Glassdoor. Let me finish. He says these PC gamers don't even use their PCs. Hold up. Let me do the super chat and then I'll get to you. These PC gamers don't even use their PCs for anything else, it seems. Andrew Wilkins. Microsoft never had any advantage over Sony in gaming. Not even in tech and cloud gaming. PS Now and PS streaming always been superior to xCloud. Look it up. I think PlayStation's the only one with 4K cloud. Like the xCloud still doesn't do 4K streaming.
It only does attempt. Yeah.
Yeah, and then finally, Glassdoor Gamer.
Only Azure servers, I believe.
Who the PlayStation or xCloud?
Microsoft Azure clouds.
But are they offering 4K streaming? I don't think. But are they offering for? I don't think they are.
They don't even use Azure.
I don't think they're utilizing it. But the Azure servers are the only ones capable of it.
They could, but probably they're not.
I don't think Xbox is utilizing it.
Yeah, I don't think they're offering it to their consumer base yet. And Glassdoor Gamer says J-Dub, Xbox influencers are dealing cope on the streets. Oh man, they're peddling cope. They're peddling cope. All right, Extreme, what are you gonna say?
No, I was going to say that I had a thought about that the other day, which is if people have dedicated gaming PCs, right, that might be different from like the work laptop or the work computer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there could be a moment where you just install SteamOS, which is based on Linux, and that be either the only operating system that you use on that PC, or they have like a dual OS setup where at the start of your computer, you choose which OS you want to launch into, which Mac can do with Windows, because we know that there's been Windows for Mac for a long time.
Yeah, dual boot. Yeah, I remember that. Dual boot for Windows. Yeah,
it is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that Steam would be very interested in doing something like that, because then you take away all the other storefronts, right? Because their OS, they can just be like, well,
you won't have Game Pass or anything else. It's just Steam.
No Epic,
it's literally
no GOG. You're just gonna be here. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And also, I keep telling people, man, Windows is garbage. It's absolute garbage. I'm sorry, but when you take a look at, like, if you use any productivity app, go and see what you can spend on a Mac product, and then go and spend the equivalent on a Windows product, or even 3 times as much, and then go back and check the performance of the software that you're running, whether that is like a Premiere or another Adobe product, or even like a DaVinci Resolve or any of these editing tools, and you realize, man, I could have gotten the same level of performance from a freaking, I don't know, iPad Air. Like, it's ridiculous. And then you're thinking to yourself, where is all of that hardware power going? Because I don't even think it's a fault with NVIDIA. I don't think it's like the cards that are bad. I just think that Windows is this antiquated skeleton that has been carrying like all of these modern improvements, and they don't ever want to change it. Honestly, I think that Microsoft should create 2 distinct versions of like Windows 13 or something. One for the consumer that is like brand new from the ground up and is like new and everything like that. And then a Windows Legacy Edition for all of you enterprise people that will panic at the first thought of like, oh, this one piece of code from 1983 will no longer work if we don't, because that is what it's held by. Unfortunately, Microsoft is a lazy company, and they did not bother creating a version for enterprise users and then a version for actual regular customers and gamers and consumers that need up-to-date things. Because you think about it, Windows 11 still has a control panel, but now it has like a settings menu. And then if you go dig down deep enough into like the settings, they show you the same pop-up from 1998. Like there's like 3 different control panels in Windows at the moment.
Yeah, you have the charms menu, you have the old school start menu, and settings menu, the way that the Windows 11 does it, and then
you
can
then you
go
have the
into
control panel,
Windows
and then
10 old style control panel classic. Yeah.
My goodness, it's ridiculous. And that's just the settings. That's just for you to adjust.
True.
And some settings exist in one, some settings exist in both. Some settings, it's like, no, you have to know that you can only get through this through the command prompt. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, now I think that if Steam were to create the Steam OS and it was modern and it was fresh, a lot of gamers would at least dual boot their PCs.
I firmly think that the new Asus handheld that they're still coming out with, not the one that got shelved, but the Asus branded one, I think that is what they're working on trying to make more seamless. Because that, as far as we know, is the one that's still coming out this year sometime.
Yeah.
It's only the Xbox branded one that's coming out.
Yeah, but what is it going to do, though? I don't know what this new Asus branded. Yeah, I'm like, but what's the big deal? What could they possibly do? That's what I don't understand.
I think it's just
like it might be a good test run. I will say this: it might be a good test run to see Xbox One games and Xbox Series X games and 360 games are backwards compatible also work on that handheld. That could be a great test run to prove their theory.
Absolutely.
That might be it. That might be the big deal. But again, number one, backwards compatibility don't mass sells products. That's not a big massive thing. Never has been.
Nope.
At best, they're just trying to do it to make sure they don't get backlash for abandoning their portfolio that they pushed. That's about it. But it's not going to net result. It's not going to result in 20. What happened?
Xbox did a really good job of marketing that backwards compatibility, especially at the beginning of this generation.
But they didn't do anything. They did, absolutely.
So they did a phenomenal job of marketing that, and it got that bullshit too. Like, I bought this $500 elite Xbox Series X and elite controller, a $200, $300 goddamn expansion card, play some games I was playing last year. Man, fuck out of here.
Yo, boy, I tell you what, Kid Smooth was out there twerking, boy. He was twerking on that backwards compatibility, boy. I was like, what are we doing, Smooth? Brand new Xbox, and you out here, I got auto HDR on shit you played in 2016? My man out here talking about Division 1, auto HDR. Boy, you out your mind, Smooth. My man was twerking over that backwards compatibility. I'm like, get it. We got more 120 FPS games. Like, bro, you talking about Rise and 120 FPS? Get the fuck out of here. Buy some new shit. Like, yo, my man was
they have
twerking.
more 120 FPS games than PS5.
And like 90% of it was Xbox One games.
So I know you got
more
topics.
Fuck out of here. Like, stop.
You got the God of War 2D. Let's move on topics.
Okay. Oh, that was so funny.
Okay. Let me see. The super chats are all caught up. All right, but that's a good one. The God of War 2D topic. I want to go with J-Dub. You know what? I need to blame somebody. I don't know who to blame. Who asked for this shit?
Oh man.
Somebody. Yeah. Oh, my man Ghost. Somebody. Whose fault is this?
Catch me.
So supposedly, God of War: The Greek Saga is a 2D, 2.5D side scroller Metroidvania style game.
What?
That's the rumor.
Yeah, I heard about that this morning. I don't see that going over too well, considering that God of War has always been 3D.
Who did this? Boy,
don't know. I don't care.
No, I'm blaming. So I think I'm gonna blame J-Dub. J-Dub. I don't know. We're about to. Well, listen. We're about to find out state of play. We're about to find out if it's true. But apparently, the Greek Saga is a 2.5, like an indie, like Metroid or Hollow Knight or something.
Yeah.
Apparently, we'll find out. But if it's true, we're gonna pretend it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea, bad idea. What do you think? We'll start with Extreme. Good idea, bad idea. You don't care.
I don't even know What on earth is it? Like
he still can't
a God of
contemplate.
War Hollow Knight? What?
I think it's more like what they did with the most recent Prince of
80s.
Persia game.
Oh yeah, that's a good example. The Prince of Persia. God of War style.
God of War.
But God of War.
Listen, not for me, man. Listen, y'all can keep
Yeah,
that.
I don't think it's.
That's
I don't
fine.
think it's gonna be good.
That's fine, man. That's
He like
okay,
whatever.
man.
You know what? You're
Hey,
not gonna
listen, when
bash
it
it.
was Prince of
Whatever.
Persia, when it was Prince of Persia, I told them to keep that too. They can keep this one too. It's fine.
A lot of people
okay.
said that. That's the
I
crazy
got the
part.
backlog.
It's not like Prince of. It's not like the Prince of what is? It's not like the Prince of Persia 2D.5 version like blew up.
Yeah.
Like no one really cared about it.
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
Real talk,
Ghost.
though.
Ghost, that's you. You ready for this? Get
Yeah,
that
I'm ready for it,
2.5.
man.
Are you?
Well, yeah, and I'd be, I'm ready for the smoke because
Okay.
I'd be for real shitty. I'd be for real
Okay.
shitty. Like Santa Monica, you regressed. You know what I'm saying? Like you provided experience like 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, and now I'm playing some Super NES type shit. Like, nah, man, this ain't that. This ain't it. No. Once again, saying to what we were just talking about as far as move, right? We got to hold ourselves accountable. Like this motherfucker was over here doing backflips for old ass games, and here we are hype about some 2D shit. Come on, man, no sir.
Listen, you telling me
No, sir.
I bought a PS? What is this? This PS5 Pro? Yo, J-Dub, is this PS5 Pro
No,
enhanced?
Yes, sir.
Yo, J-Dub, is this PS5 Pro enhanced? The fuck are we doing here?
Man. Again, it ain't for me. I don't know. I just again, I don't know.
I hope it's just a
I
stupid
gotta see
rumor.
it first. Yeah, it could be.
No,
But it could be. I don't know.
I'm gonna send you a
don't-
DM. I'm gonna send you a DM. It's relevant to the
You
conversation.
send me a DM on the
I'm
Twitters?
sending you a DM now on the Twitter.
Like, listen, man. I'm
You mind if I chime in on this?
I mean, look, I'm starting to feel like Z right now. I got the world's most powerful console. Look at this shit. I got the world's most powerful console. Look at this shit. I'm gonna make that video. I'm gonna do the same. Yo, yo, shout out to my boy Next Gen 720. I'm gonna bite your shit. I'm gonna do the same thing. I got the world's most powerful console. Look at this shit.
You want to know my take on it?
All right, let's hear your take. What's your take on it?
So while you're pulling that up, I think that it's a mistake because God of War, even the OG, were always full 3D.
Oh, look at this.
And I'm a firm believer that whenever you are making a remake and a remaster, it's for a game that is not playable on the current gen console hardware. For instance, PS1, PS2 games, PS3 games. Fine, make those a remaster for the PS5. But when it comes to making a whole new game that looks like it should have never been on this gen of consoles anyway, I mean, who's making this? An indie studio?
Yo, you look at the screen. That's what they're saying that they want to give us.
Yeah,
this was a mobile game.
I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna show this game, and I'm gonna be like, I got the world's most powerful console.
And
Look
this
at
is what
shit.
you're playing with it.
I got the world's most powerful console. Come on, man. I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it could be bullshit. I mean, this is a mobile game. It could be absolute bullshit, right? Like with a rumor, but I don't know, man. And it better not be Santa Monica. It better be like some new indie studio or some shit. And then maybe the indie guy. If you're an indie gamer and you enjoy it, man, shout out to Jack Move. He'll love it.
Yeah.
He loves indie games and shit like that, right? Smaller titles. I don't know, man. I know some people, the argument making is that Sony needs more, double A, single A games that are low budget but can produce lots of revenue, to help facilitate more AAA developers. I'm like, but the thing is, PlayStation gamers. Well, hold up. The thing is, PlayStation gamers don't buy single AA games in that mass. At least not consistently. That's the problem. I can understand. Let's say if they do make this 2.5 God of War, and that shit sells 15 million. All right, got it. Even if I don't buy it, but guess what? It's successful as fuck. There's audience. But this shit sells like 1 million. So it's like, we'll see. I don't know.
Like, who is this for, right?
Yeah. I got the world's most powerful console. Oh my God, that's going to be so funny.
This looks like old school NES Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie.
That's
what
all it
this
is.
I
Man.
never
That's
even knew this game released.
that's why I don't really play these 2D side scroller games, and not because whatever. It's that I played so much of it during the time when these were considered the big AAAs of its time. I don't want to go back to this. Like I just don't really go back to this. Like I moved on. I moved on with the current strategies, with the current gameplays and the current stuff. That's what I want.
It's not.
Again,
It's not for me.
It's
But,
not for me. Yeah.
It is what it is.
We'll see.
It's not for me.
We'll see.
If somebody in the boardroom or somebody developer came and said, "Hey, this is going to be a great idea. We'll try that." It's not for me. Maybe it's for somebody else. Maybe there's an audience for it. It's just not me.
Maybe we'll find out. You're buying this, J-Dub. You got the T-shirt already.
I'll buy it on Game Pass.
It'll run at 60 frames though.
Oh man,
it'll run at 60 frames. This should be but here's the thing. All right, here I'm gonna throw this on. I'm gonna throw this one up. All right, you ready for this curveball? You ready for this curveball? You ready for this? You might not like what I'm about to say. The audience might not like what I'm about to say. What if they made this because they're gonna put it on the Switch and Switch 2?
I could see that.
Oh man, fuck out of here! Oh my god, that shit. I'll be like, I'm done. I'm done.
The only way I could see them caring about that, because like you already said, Puerto Rock, their base don't want that shit. They don't. We're not asking for that. We didn't, and I get it. But that's
PlayStation third party, dog.
Maybe Nintendo, right? Maybe the weirdos with
PlayStation third party, dog.
There will be revolt in the Switch.
PlayStation third party, dog.
Like, wait, you're not giving us enough games, and you're gonna.
But they put to the Switch.
Oh, no!
I'm being real.
Better not.
We're not doing that.
I'm being real. I'm being real. Yo, Jada, prepare for Twitter. Twitter's gonna be fun. Yep. If let's say they show this game on the state of play, obviously they're not going to announce it for the Switch on the stage. That's not how Sony rolls. But after the show, Nintendo does a Twitter post. Oh, and this is also available on the Switch, and day one on the Switch too.
One thing we know for sure, it ain't going to be going to Xbox.
But at this point, like, what
I
the
don't
fuck,
want it,
man?
I don't care. I don't want it. I don't want it to exist. You better conquer this shit. Take it back.
Better concord this motherfucker. He said, Extreme said, cancel everything. Don't release the shit. But here's the crazy part. Not on the PS4.
Yo, like they did with freaking Horizon.
Well, I think PS4 did.
I still haven't forgiven them for that. I still haven't forgiven them for that.
They'll put it on the Switch, but not on the PS4.
That is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting behavior.
That is nasty work.
And that's exactly why I didn't buy that game. Because I made that post on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck? So you put it on the Switch, but on the PS4, where the game was born? Hey, listen, man.
Lord, that's all right. All right. And then finally, I guess, hey, you have any thoughts, Power Boss, or did you already say your thoughts?
I said it looks like Ninja Gaiden from old NES era.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I don't see anybody liking this, because the story is supposed to be before he became, the Greek god, before the prequel to the prequels. From the OG God of War, and I mean, it's just, who is this for? It's pixel art, and it's God of War. The two do not mix, because, like I said, God of War has always been a 3D game.
Actually,
it might be like Prince of Persia modernized, but it's still 2D. Uh-oh.
If they do make this game, and it does release on the PlayStation platform, this should sell at least 30 million copies. Do you know why?
Because they want this.
Because a lot of people have been telling us that they want AA, smaller game, lesser budget games.
Yep.
You know what?
So
I want this game to come out.
I want it to come out.
I want it to come out. I want it to come out.
It's all of you out there that are like, oh, they shouldn't spend 300 million. Because I'm on team 300 million and up. Okay? Listen. I'm on team first class. Y'all wanted this budget as cockroach as economy class games? Listen.
Preach.
If they come out with this thing,
hold on. Do we know how much the game is?
Copies
I want it, but a 2D game. It doesn't cost a lot.
Do we know how much the game is going to cost?
It's probably going to be 25 million, 20 million.
No. How to release it? The release
it
on the console. How much is
as long as it's not full priced. This is what people are saying.
Oh, the price?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know. It'll probably be $30, maybe.
Yeah.
Can you imagine them charging like 50?
No, only Nintendo will do some shit like that. Only Nintendo will do some crazy shit like
Listen,
that. It'll
even if
probably
they
be
charge
30.
50, as
But
long
I
as it's
want
not
it.
full price,
But
because that's what people have been
want it.
saying.
No, I want it. I want it to come out now. I hope it's real because we're gonna test this theory. No, I want it to come out. I want it now. Now I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
After it comes
Release
out,
it.
I'll be right
And if
back
that
here.
shit does not sell minimum 10 million, shut the fuck up. Shut up. No, I don't want to hear it no more. This is gonna be the test. So you know what? It's gotta come out. Sony, do it. Release it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
One thing we know for sure is that tomorrow at State of Play, you're gonna get complaints no matter what. That's one thing we know without a shadow of a doubt. If what if they announce that game and then they turn around and announce the Corey Barlog's new game that he's working on, right? Where it say like, hey, we're gonna do this with God of War because we think that there's some fans out there that might like it. But on the flip side, they turn around and give you like what M say. He wants the first class. He wants the big kahuna. He don't want the tinky winky, right? Well, what if they say, okay, well, we'll give you both. We'll give you the
that's
little
great.
tinky winky, but we'll also take care of you with
But the
big
Tinky
stuff.
Winky
Do
better
you
sell
think?
10 million though. I'm still gonna hold
it's
on
not.
that.
If Astrobot
No,
didn't sell it, then it's
no. We're
not.
not doing that. These guys been asking for it. Listen,
That's
we
what
gotta
they.
hold our own accountable
Listen,
too,
I
J
get
Dub.
it.
We got to hold them
Listen.
accountable. They're saying they want Sony to do this. Okay,
Yep.
you got it. I got my major AAAs. You know we buying it. So we do our part. We know we buying the Corey Barlog game. That's not a problem. But if we have a PlayStation gamers that are telling Sony they gotta do AA, they gotta do single A, cool, and Sony does it, I'm gonna give them the
not part of
smoke
that
if this
crew.
game sells
I'm not
10
part of
million.
that crew.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying
listen.
you are, but what I'm saying
Yeah.
is we got to smoke them because there's
No,
no point in
absolutely.
demanding something and you don't really buy it.
But that's 90% of the people out there. They can complain and balk about everything, but then when you look at the sales, it's like,
yeah. But the difference is
why
we're
would
gonna
these
give them the
companies
smoke.
do that? You fuckers don't buy it. You only we had the podcast before, and I said we see the top selling games or the top
We're
playing
gonna give them the
games.
smoke.
All of it is fucking free to play live service bullshit that we cry about. But that's where gamers are spending their time and money. Until gamers stop and they start doing what we say do, just buy fucking like why you didn't buy Astrobot the way you should have fucking bought it. Why you didn't buy Returnal the way you should have bought it. Why you didn't buy some of the other stuff. Like but then you complain that there's no games and there's no this. It's like, no, there's games. You're just not fucking buying it. That's just what it is, right? If Sony cut a deal and get your fucking Final Fantasies and all that shit exclusive and you don't fucking go out and buy it, what's the point? You're no better than the fucking Xbox dudes that hyped up Rise on the Rome and Titanfall and all that other bullshit, right? It's the same fucking shit. I'm advocate for buy your fucking game. Buy it day one. Don't get it on a fucking sale 2 months, 3 months later. Like everybody was crying about Days Gone when I was fucking on it day one. I was the one advocating for the game, and motherfuckers sat on the sideline and they waited till it was added in the collection or whatever. Then they
a lot of people played on the collection. Then they love it. He cut out. Damn, he was on his zone. Damn, I didn't get him. Like
everybody's internet.
Man, Hiroki Totoki got him. Hiroki Totoki said,
"Nah,
shut this shit down."
Console market. They get you.
Oh man, no amount of Magic Games is gonna bring J Dub back.
No Magic Games gonna keep you safe. Your internet is targeted.
Oh man, no amount of Magic Games is gonna keep his thing back.
Listen, they even got Ghost up out of here, man. I'm telling you, man.
The Ghost left too. Oh man,
I know.
Now everybody.
To ghost him.
Oh shit! Oh man, let me do some super chat. Glassdoor Gamer, $1 million for Xbox games is considered $1 million for Xbox games is considered goated.
It means 1 million sales.
1 million sales? I think that's what he meant. 1 million sales. Yeah. That's true. Like, Forza, like when I saw everybody's talking about, oh my God, these cars are amazing. That's all PlayStation buys. And then when I looked up the sales data, I'm like, it's about 1 million, 1.5 million. And not even. Like Doom didn't even sell 1 million. Grounded didn't sold like 160,000. Sea of Thieves sold like 500,000. I'm like, PlayStation would get destroyed if their game sold this low.
Yep.
Like talk about different like what's the word? Standards. Like Xbox standards is really low. You know what I'm saying? Like Spider-Man, 11 million. Out of 110 million, that's terrible. But apparently 1.5 million for Forza is great, or 200K for Doom is outstanding. Like Israel's weird.
Aspirational, man. Aspirational.
Yeah. Mount Cash won with the super chat. PlayStation equals 4K cloud gaming. Chat, hit the thumb, hit the like button. Absolutely, chat, hit the like button. Thank you so much. And don't forget to share this out. Gordo P23. I'll bet any one of you $20 that they won't show Wolverine tomorrow. Oh man, brother, like you're hurting my soul.
You're betting the wrong ones. Don't you know that we have word mappers over here?
Oh,
we don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
The joke's on you. We don't want to see it.
Oh man, it's so much more fun knowing that it's not coming out anytime soon. That's the entertainment. Oh my god.
If they do show it, we just want a teaser trailer of an announcement trailer.
No date, no dates.
No dates.
No dates.
No gameplay. No story. Matter, we don't even want to see the character. just want to see the title screen.
Oh man. Oh my god. Yeah, Wolverine, that's gonna be crazy. We like
you know what they should do? They should bring out a developer to tell you it's still coming. There we go. That's what we want to see. No gameplay, no visuals, no nothing. Just we're still working on it.
So here's a question for you then, since that's the next topic, the state of play. What is your predictions for 40 minutes that they're going to be showing?
I really I don't know. Multiplats. I don't know. Listen, it's a state of play. State of play has been off and on. Like they can literally show. I wouldn't be surprised they show Death Stranding again. I would not be surprised.
What about Soros?
Maybe they did say they're going to show more later this year. So, like Soros, I think at a minimum, Death Stranding again, potentially Soros and Ghost of Yotai.
I can see that.
After that, I don't know.
What about Intergalactic?
I don't know. Intergalactic, nope.
Nah.
Nope.
Too soon?
They better not.
Yep. Nope. They're not going to show. They're not going to show none.
Okay. What about Baby Steps?
Probably.
I don't even care. Like that little game, I wrote that shit off. I saw like, I don't know. Not following this. I'm not following. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Just a
That's a good streamer's game. That's a streamer's game. That game is for streamers.
Hey, that's another
what I mean?
budget game that people better
the streamer games
I'm just saying.
that just blows up for no fucking reason, just because the game is so stupid. That reminds me, like, this is the type of game the people who like to watch games will enjoy. Not play it. Not buy and play it. That is the perfect. Oh, I need to watch somebody else play this so I can just enjoy it. That's the perfect
SPR
game.
in the chat actually had a good prediction. The Horizon MMO, because that hasn't been canceled yet. Out of all those live service pushes.
I will say this. I don't like predictions, and I'm actually a fan of them giving only a 1-day notice because it stops people going off the deep end with this kind of shit. Because then, if they had given a week. Oh my goodness,
man, we would have
everything.
Oh man,
everything.
They're predicting the second game.
3.
Yeah,
they'll be like Bloodborne 3. Like forget 2, just this is the third
straight to 3. Oh man,
I've already been seeing those going out.
They will add Jack and Daxter to the list. Siphon Filter remaster.
Done.
SOCOM's back.
Yep.
They will have AI generated footage.
They would have come up with a fucking 4-hour show out of 40 minutes. That's what they would have done.
What if they show that Switch 2 exclusive from FromSoft game coming to the PlayStation 5?
No, Nintendo locked that shit down.
Do you think Nintendo's ever going to let go of exclusivity?
Get the fuck out. Nintendo, nah, that shit is locked down on Nintendo. That shit's going nowhere. They don't care if they don't care if that they don't care if that game only sells one copy. Well, that one copy is for that one person on the Switch too.
Exactly.
It's dead.
Nintendo is never letting that go.
Dead. They don't give a shit.
Hold on.
They rather have From Software go bankrupt.
Games? You remember the Bayonetta games? Did they ever, like, when Nintendo bought Bayonetta, did they ever bring it back to PlayStation? Nope.
That's true.
Nope. Nintendo is never letting
2 and 3.
Go.
They rather die. They rather have the industry go to hell before.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So no, you're not seeing anything from Nintendo. Listen, I would sooner believe that they will let go of Mario than something else they paid for. That's just. Listen.
Shout out to the genius with the super chat says, if 8 million PS4 sales from Days Gone minus PS5 and PC didn't garner a sequel from Sony, I don't think 1 million from Doom speaks volumes. Yeah. Now, to be fair, the Days Gone didn't greenlit by Sony Bend themselves. It never even got pitched to Sony. Sony Bend management team said, no, we're not pitching this. They're the ones that shut that down. Sony never got the pitch. Yeah, it stopped at Sony Bend Studios because I remember Jason. I think he did it on USA Today. He was more specific on what happened, and on USA it was a USA Today interview. He said the management team, and that was a big. That's why he left. The management team just sucked. It was like a board now. Instead of one person making a decision, they had this team that now had a vote, and they voted no for Days Gone 2. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, where's the creative vision, the creative director? They're supposed to be making that decision, not this management team board. He said it was all messed up. And he was just pissed off about it. He was really pissed off about it. All right. I think that's it, right? State of play. J-Dub, you back? No, he left. He's gone. Oh, man. Roki Totoki. Yeah, it's final. It's over.
Doesn't want that.
That's it. Yeah. So, all right. We're going to... We're gonna end it off right here. The what? Am I looking forward to it? I'm not gonna watch it live. I'm gonna wait till after the fact.
Okay.
Does that count?
I'll probably be streaming it live with somebody.
That's another thing. They also put music, and then your video channel gets flagged and shit. Not flagged, but demonetized. Because I hate that.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't...
Copyright music.
What?
Is that a thing we do here? Do we do after show? Like, we watch it in our own separate times, and then we come and discuss what we saw?
I mean, we can. We can do that if you want. I could set it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
At the same time. I'll set it up at the same time.
5 p.m.
It's at 2 p.m. It's at 2 p.m. Oh, no. Is it? No, it's 2 p.m. Pacific. What time? No, what time is the show?
5 p.m. ET. 5 p.m. ET.
5 p.m. Eastern? Yeah, 2 p.m. Pacific. Yeah. So by the time we could, at 5:30, it'll be 3 hours since then. So, yeah.
Yeah,
we could if you want, if it's worth. It depends how I feel. Let me watch the show first. I'm gonna be like, no, I ain't doing the after show for this shit. So we gotta. So it's not guaranteed. We're gonna have to see. Like, if there's some big blockbuster stuff, okay. But listen. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not making no promises. I gotta see the show first.
Okay,
I mean, at the very least, you just make a video of your thoughts of it.
Yeah, maybe if it's even worth. It depends. It depends on what they actually do. Because if it's like showing fucking third party shit, I'm like, but I'm not even worth the energy.
Yeah, you gonna try to cover the 4 days of Summer Games Fest?
Oh man, that's a lot of work.
Nah,
for indies, that's a lot of work for indies.
Games Fest is ever worth it, to be honest.
I don't know. I'll probably do videos.
June 8th is supposed to be the big Xbox revealing stuff for 2 hours.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, I would love to watch the PlayStation State of Play 2. That's great.
Oh, let me see. When is the State of Play? It's
1 p.m. Eastern.
Wait, I'm about to finish right now. Okay. It's Sunday.
1 p.m. Eastern,
the 8th.
Sunday.
Sunday the 8th. Oh, I might do a live on that one. I mean, anything, it's good. It's good PlayStation content.
Yeah. PlayStation State of Play 2.
Now, I will say this though.
I'm a host of PlayStation Showcase.
You said don't hold Phil to the fire, but he did say one thing though.
What? Oh.
They're not hiding logos anymore.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
So
it's PlayStation.
If it's coming to PlayStation, it's going to have the PlayStation logo. If it doesn't have the logo, how long do you think it's going to wait?
Oh, probably a year or so. I think so. To me, and I said this before, the games that are not day and day on PlayStation is probably studios that are not built to handle that many platforms. Like Compulsion Games, they're not a big studio.
Right, small studios.
Ninja Theory, Ninja Theory is another one. So there's only so much they can do at a given time. So under that scenario, then the priority has to be Xbox consoles and PC because of Game Pass. That Game Pass devices, you have to give that the priority. Then it'll come to PlayStation once they have the time and they moved on to the next thing. But other than that,
And they've
if
given it the 60 frames per second mode, because
oh
obviously
yeah, oh yeah, oh
this
yeah,
one is
you know, if they
what they
can't
do
get
with
into
Hellblade, what they
yeah,
do with Hellblade 2, that is not cool, man.
why
That's
what
something that
happened?
they
Why
could show tomorrow.
But
what
no, did you
happened?
say Hellblade 2? They
No,
called it the enhanced edition. I'm
okay.
almost
You
guaranteed
think
it's
it's
gonna
gonna be
have
60
60 frames per
FPS?
second. I think
Oh
it's
man,
definitely because they
oh
said it's
my
gonna be an
god.
update for Xbox and PC at the same time. So
Oh,
what are you
oh my!
updating? Are you
Imagine that was
updating
the thing. Imagine if that was the thing. They finally got it to run 60 FPS.
on Xbox and
Well,
PlayStation?
PC was
I'm
already
telling
running
you,
it on.
man.
Oh
Why
yeah,
would they
PCs already.
call
Yeah,
it
we're talking about
enhanced?
consoles.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
consoles.
Why would they call it enhanced though? Why would they call it enhanced for? What are
Yo,
you
that would be
enhancing?
so funny. The
But it's
dudes
not the
I
already
don't
played
know.
it
visuals.
on 30. They already played
It's
it on
not
Because
the
30.
visuals and it's not the gameplay.
Doom the
So
Dark
what else is
Ages
there
was
to
also
enhance?
PS5 enhanced, and that was the
Maybe
worst
it
place
is
to play
enhancing
Doom
gameplay. They added
on
more people
PlayStation.
to fight. That
One
could
at
be
a time?
enhanced.
One at a
Yeah, one
time?
at a time. But more, but back to
But
back.
more of
But
those.
more one at a
More
time.
time events.
Oh no, I was talking
Multi-time
about Doom.
events.
Oh. What about Doom? What?
Oh man.
I was talking about Doom the Dark Ages.
What about it?
Wait, what about them?
That was PS5 Pro enhanced, yet
Yeah, it
the
was.
PlayStation was the worst place to play it.
Okay.
Hey,
Was it?
listen, man. That's what they should do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
If I were them, I would do that.
They,
I will give you
like
the worst version. I
sabotage?
will say this is the best the PlayStation can do.
Sabotage this shit?
I will be. That's what I would do, man.
So
I'll
why
be
was
like,
it? So
look,
why was it the worst place to play on the Pro?
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look.
was it the frames or something? Like there was more frames per second on Xbox.
It was the stuttering, I believe, because of the forced ray tracing.
Hey, listen, man. I like that. They should
Which
do
is
it.
also a reason why the PC didn't sell very well.
Why was it bad
they
on PC too? Was it like unoptimized?
It wasn't unoptimized, but it locked a lot of people out because it forced the ray tracing.
Really? Like it's forced ray tracing. Like you couldn't turn it off on PC. That's
No.
weird. PC
Yeah.
gamers wouldn't like that shit at all.
No, they didn't.
They wouldn't like that shit at all.
Listen.
You force them to do something? Are you out of your mind? You don't make the
Absolutely.
master race do something they don't want to do.
Mm-mm.
And they held
How
Xbox's
dare
feet
you?
to the fire for that one.
Ooh, they'd be like, "How dare you? I can't toggle my switches? You are out your fucking mind."
Which is funny enough, the whole thing about Doom the Dark Ages, it was accessibility because you have sliders for damn near everything to customize the gameplay to how you want it. And
Yeah.
then they don't let you turn off graphical settings on PC so that you get the better experience. Now, don't get me wrong, it still ran 60 FPS. I don't think it had any dips.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
man, no wonder it's so
that
like
was just
shit.
some nasty work. And
I
even
wouldn't
the
buy that
Oblivion
shit, but I didn't buy
remaster,
this
did
shit
you know
either.
that there's a bug from the original 360 still in the remaster that
Of what?
if it'll crash your game and uninstall itself?
Of what? Of Oblivion?
Oblivion Remastered. From the original 360 game, that's what it does.
It
and
will
it was never taken
uninstall
out.
itself.
Yep.
Like it will commit seppuku. Just
Yep. It'll crash the desktop.
It would
and
literally
uninstall
self-delete itself.
Yep. And they didn't fix it. And they didn't.
You
fix
know
it.
what? You know what? If I was them, I wouldn't fix it either.
Well, it's a
That's too funny.
remaster. They didn't fit. They
You know what?
remastered it.
It's a game. It's a Bethesda game. It's not a bug. It's a feature. Okay.
It's
Now, as far as the Oblivion remaster goes, I will say this is very telling for what they're probably doing with Halo. Because remember, Halo is supposed to be overlaying UE5 on the Slipstream engine from Halo. Just like Oblivion is on it, the original engine overlaid with UE5 for graphical overhaul.
I have a final quick fire topic.
Sure.
Been
Okay.
thinking about this. Okay. Podorock, you and I, we've done the math, right? 7-year generation, 5 years to develop each game doesn't work, right?
Yeah, the math
We've
ain't
done the
mathing,
math,
but
right? The math
but you
ain't
know what?
mathing.
No one's
You know
listening.
what I was thinking the other day?
Okay. Oh, what?
Should we get rid of AAA video game trilogies? Because if we extend the math to tell a whole story, like take a look at Horizon, for example. To tell the whole story of Aloy, 3 games, right? That's the standard trilogy.
It's
is what we
trilogy,
used to.
yeah.
But that's not 15 years. With God of War, they decided specifically not to do that. Now I'm thinking to myself, should that now be the standard going forward? You just
No.
get 2 games.
That's
Like
actually
the duology now becomes the standard because again, the math is a mathing. Because even if you had a 10-year generation, which you and I have been advocating for, that still wouldn't tell the complete story.
Yeah.
You will still need a gen and a half to finish a story or an arc of a
trilogy.
game.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking now.
And then if you get deep, like Uncharted, which went 4 deep.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
And that's
so
never
duologies. Just stop
that's never happening again.
Look at the latest
games.
Spider-Man 2018, Miles Morales, and
now it's Spider-Man 2, and it's not even over.
And they're making 3, and then then you have the Final Fantasy 7 remakes, Remake, Rebirth, and R3.
Yeah, that's
splitting
a good
that
point.
up into 3 games.
Just focus on duology, and then move on.
I think the duology should be the way to go.
I think anything more than 2 games in a franchise is
you're putting yourself at
risk. I
risk.
mean, no, the franchise is fine because it's about the arc, right? It's about the character. For example, let's take a look at Ghost. Ghost of Tsushima, perfectly fine. One encapsulating story is finished, right? Closed. He's done. Now it's going to be the new protagonist with Yote, right? Then she's going to be done. She gets 1 game. Now they can keep creating Ghost games in the Ghost franchise as many times as they want because each is its own thing, you know? So that's a single game. Now, let's pretend that The Last of Us part isn't going to get another early entry, right? So that would have been part 1 and part 2. That would have been finished. Now, I think I'm going to have a part 3, but let's just for the exercise, let's pretend I'm going to stop at 2. So that would be 2 games, right? Then you take a look at Horizon, and now you're thinking 3, possibly more games. And I'm like, that doesn't work. You can't have 20 years between the start and the finish of a single story.
Yeah.
Right?
I push back on that for one reason.
Yeah.
Because then you got to look at games like Uncharted, Tomb Raider.
No. All of those games were made
Uncharted was faster.
where you could make a game one after the other.
Uncharted was faster.
Remote 3 of them was in the same gen.
Right.
Yeah,
Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 came out the same gen, but now we're talking about in a climate. It takes 6 years for one game. Yeah, going forward. Back in the day, it worked because you got 3 in one gen, but now you're not going to get 3 in one gen. You'll be lucky to get 1 in one gen.
But what if it's like what they're doing with Final Fantasy games moving forward, that they can reuse assets and make the games faster again?
Like what? Like Final? Well, when you think about it, Final Fantasy
remember, Final Fantasy 7 remake is UE4,
2020,
and they refused to Rebirth move to UE5 because they wanted to reuse the same assets so it could come out sooner.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. But that there to me is an analogy. I mean, it's a remake of a thing. But no, let's look forward. Okay. Forget about the past. The Witcher 4 starts series saga, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want 3 games just for Siri?
Yeah.
Understanding that each game might take 6 years in between each of them. So it might take you 18 years. Like you could have a child the day it is released, and that child will be allowed to drive by the time
graduate high school. By the time you see Siri Saga.
You will literally be going to university by the time they finish.
Just kids in college. You might not live, bro. You might be dead.
Do we want that? That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, this trilogy thing is unsustainable.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
So I'm not thinking.
I don't know what it'll be at 18 years from now. Like,
can you imagine? Yo, Padova, could you imagine if you decide to have a child now, today? You're like, yes, let's have another. And then that child is going to be of maturity. That child could get married themselves. That child could have a child by the time the story is finished. Isn't that weird?
I mean, if the games are going to take 6 years, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But anything that's coming out in like maybe 3 or 4 years, maybe it's
not even 4 years. Man. Do the math again.
That's 12.
Even
that's 12.
4 years. 3
it's
years.
12.
3 games is 12 years.
It's pushing it. I ain't gonna lie, it's pushing it.
And again, it's a gen and a half. So you start. Let's say you start freaking series story, like let's just pretend it came out at the start of the PS6. You will need to be halfway through the PS7 before you actually finish that story. That's weird. That's some weird math there. I'm just saying, this whole video game trilogy model, I think it needs to stop. Either tell one self-contained story in one game, or at maximum have 2. because then a person can play the day it releases, and then 5 years later they can finish the story, and then it's done, and then you can move on to the next installment. I'm not saying that the franchise has to end, but I'm saying it has to be new characters or new something,
I get what you're
something
saying.
different.
Yeah.
You know?
Because there's so many characters that are introduced in, say, The Last of Us, where each character can have their entire own game for each arc of one game or two games or however many games they make it. And they may not be able to fit it all in one game, but no more than two is what you're saying.
Yeah.
For one character.
This for something that feels distinct. Like again, so for example, if they reboot Uncharted, right? And then let's say that they decide to go with the theory where they say that it's going to be his daughter this time, right? It's going to be little Drake that goes around running and gunning and killing people, right? Fantastic. We love it. But do we want that shit to take 15 years now? Because again, her father had his well, let's face it, we didn't need Uncharted 4. But her father had most of his story told in a single gen.
Yeah, you're kind of describing what they did with the Gears franchise going from 3 to 4 and 5. Where they followed off the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it can be different. So here's the thing. For example, let's take a look at Intergalactic. Podwork. Intergalactic. Let's say you go to this like planet and then you love this thing and you love the game. Do you want 15 years between the start and the end?
No. Give me the sequel and finish it.
Yeah. Right? So I'm thinking duology.
That's not bad.
Like either it's a single game, right?
Or duology.
Or it's a duology. And then we just move forward. You just got to get to the next thing.
You could keep the universe, just start a new arc.
Exactly. Like Returnal. Do we want to play 3 games with just Returnal? Like,
no.
Just Celine?
No, just rename it. Just rename it to Soros and change the guy and do the same thing.
At least it's different. It's a different planet.
It's a different thing.
So, yeah, listen, I've just been thinking. I'm like, yo, these games, it doesn't make sense for a single story anymore for you to be spending 15 years in between the start and the finish. Because by the time you get to the third game, it looks nothing like the first one. Because, of course, technology's moved on, gamers' expectations are different, the gameplay mechanics are more refined or whatever it is. And I think that's also how we get to games like Doom. Like we were talking about Doom before, right? Last week's podcast. That they feel antiquated because this Doom trilogy, you know, between 2016 and now, people are like, you know, like it's just more of the same because what was fresh in 2016 isn't fresh anymore in 2025. Whereas maybe if they had let go of the Doom guy and they had just created another, I don't know, either another super soldier in the Doom universe, maybe it would have felt fresh again because they could have broken away from some of the traditional things that people are looking for in a Doom game. But instead, every single time they change something, people complain because they're like, no, that's not the core of what Doom is supposed to be. So I'm just thinking, man. That's just what I was thinking about. That was my quick fire topic.
I will say when it comes to putting it like a duology like that, you know, especially if they're going to take so long in between games of the same franchise, you're absolutely 100% right. I don't want to wait 6 years before I can play a sequel to a game that I love that did absolutely phenomenal, no matter what platform it's on, PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. Hell, even the Switch. One of the most recent examples was Shin Megami Tensei. How long was it between 4 and 5 when they came out? Years. Armored Core. How many years was it between 5 and 6? Years. It's completely different generations of consoles by the time from one to the next release. So when you're looking at, you know, the continuation of the same story arc of the same character, in this case for Horizon Forbidden West that you brought up with Aloy, 2 games is more than enough to finish her arc. Or even if they just, you know, finish it off in a DLC, maybe a year later. But to go and wait 5-6 years for the finality of the game, that's just asinine.
I think the if they were thinking this way back then, they could have written Aloy's story to be done in 2 games. Because I was thinking about the God of War, because I remember the first time that it said God of War was just going to be 2 games. I was like, that's strange. Everybody assumed it would be 3, and I assumed it would be 3 anyway. So I was like, okay. But now that I'm thinking back, I'm
7.
like, because when they came out with you, they were like, we don't want to take 10 years to tell the story. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But now I'm thinking to myself, even 10 years is a low estimate because 10 years is still assuming you can come up with games in about 3 years' time, like 3 years apart. And we're seeing that it's much closer to 4 years apart. And in some cases, they are 5 years apart. So now I'm like, man, these people are right. Like it's actually kind of it's a bit shocking. It's a bit shocking. So yeah. Anyways, I'm done with this. I just wanted to say it.
I can agree with you on a lot of that too.
All right. We're gonna do our outros. We're gonna run it up. We're gonna get out of here. I'm hungry. See, I can't do 8 hours on a Tuesday.
Especially now with your wife.
It's reserves on Fridays. That's all reserved. So Extreme, my brother, what you got going on? You pushed out a new video, right? You had something new.
I did talking about that topic in the end. Okay, listen.
Okay.
Podorok treats you guys the way that your mom treated your best friends when they came home. Okay, always better than you. Oh, the walk in the door. Oh my God, you look so great. Please sit down, relax, put your feet up. Hey,
I know what you're talking about too. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, what the fuck?
You're like,
you
what?
hate when I have my feet up.
I'm telling you, you never put me I can't even sit on the carpet. What do you mean he can put his feet up on the coffee table? You know, hey, listen, that's how Polo will be treating us. All right, listen, he's got that from his mama. You know the treatment. To us, he's like, I'm fucking hungry. I'm starving. Okay, I've got to my wife, But to the guests on Friday, I got all day. 7 hours. Let's go.
Puerto Rock definitely got chased by the chunk.
Yeah, apparently you didn't get hungry that day.
I know, right? My wife never heard of her. Who are you talking about? Okay.
Man,
listen.
Wild.
I believe in DEI, okay? Diversity, equality, okay, and inclusion. It's the E in the EI that makes it.
Hey, listen. The president's my commander in chief. He shut all that down, so I can't do it. It's got shut down. Got shut down. Can't do it.
It got down. The DEI program.
It's based on merit. So clearly, Josh Edit got the merit.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
Go to my channel. I put out some thoughts you might like.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, Powerballs, man.
But you absolutely slaughtered him.
Man, yeah, it was like, man, don't say. But sorry, but you know what? Again, but I will say this: I know everybody has their issues, whatever. But at least he showed up.
Yeah,
because that means he really believed in what he be. He could be completely wrong, but he was willing to show up and talk about it because in his mind, he believes in it.
Absolutely.
And so at least he showed up. He absolutely showed up, which is more than I could say for a lot of other people. All right, Powerballs, how you been, my brother?
Doing absolutely great. Been getting a lot of praise around the salt miner community.
Oh, why? So, what you got going
on? Became moderator for a lot of them, almost all of them.
Oh, are you? Okay.
So you ever have any problems with, it's Alex for Tanga.
Okay.
Well, not for Tanga, but Cassie or anybody, talk to me and I can, set the record straight one way or the other.
Okay. All right.
Actual salt mining. I was like, yo, this guy got a job promotion. You
thought actual salt mining, like real salt, like this guy.
I was like, yo, congratulations. What is that like?
The YouTuber circle.
Listen, I'm too innocent, okay? I'm too innocent out here. I was about to be congratulations.
My man thought he's talking about American salt mining and shit. He's like, wow, that is dope.
I'm like, what? You're the manager of the entire industry? That's fucking cool. Why are we talking about that?
He's like, fuck, we talking about that's the important shit. Oh man, how's the tariffs going? How much salt you sending to Australia? How much salt are you sending to Australia?
Listen, I thought you were going to talk to me about Himalayan salt.
Himalayan pink salt. Himalayan pink salt.
I know, right? I'm like, yo. That's
as far as my health issue goes, I have had some headway on that front with the VA.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Not so nice, actually, but I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after.
All right. Okay.
But I've gotten in with the Xbox crowd. I'm on their channels. So I'm in everywhere. If you're willing to have me, I'm here. I'm a PC guy, but I game everywhere.
Okay. All right. Okay. You're the true neutral. All right. All right. Anyway.
Hey, I try to be.
Okay. Right. All right. Appreciate it, man. I'm glad, your salt mining company industry is doing phenomenal according to Extreme. He was excited. He wanted a sample of Himalayan pink salt.
I know, man. I was about to ask you all the questions. What's the difference between table salt, Himalayan
and
pink
Himalayan?
Salt,
well, how much iodine? How much iodine do I really need from salt?
Just like, yo, is sodium bad for you? Like, yo, how am I?
Or is it?
I can't
hey,
instructions.
Hey, thank you so much for rocking out. If you don't mind, please on your way out, hit the like button. And I got good news. So VG Fight School will be a guest on Friday Night Live. It's not a debate, which was everybody saying. The only reason why is because we didn't really know each other. So everybody pit us together, and we're both like, who are you? Well, I'm Porter Rock. Well, I'm VG Fight School. All right, what do we do now? Because we never make content or say anything to each other. So it's going to be a normal Friday Night Live with a guest. But if we enter topics that just as the podcast flows, we'll debate about it. But he will be a guest this Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And so VG Fight School will be on live. So that's pretty cool.
Good,
okay,
so we'll talk about it. He's a teacher.
He's a teacher. Okay, awesome.
I think so.
Awesome. Good man. He's probably struggling, having a tough time with these dumbass Americans, but it is what it is. All right. But anyway, so check out this Friday, next Friday Night Live, VG Fight School, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time and everything. So thank you so much for rocking out with us. Your only friend, these YouTube streets, Porter Rock 77. We're out of here, and I will see you guys next week with another 60 Frames Don't Like podcast. We might go live tomorrow. It all depends how good the state of play is, because I am not going to waste my time going live. I'm just not doing it for for 2.5D God of War.
If it's a 9 out of 10 and above, we'll go live. If it's anything below that,
you know what? We'll hit the Discord and we'll talk. We'll hit the DMs on Twitters. And we'll say, hey, is it worth it? Is it good? Should we even waste our time? We'll coordinate. Not a guarantee, but we'll see. All right. But anyway, we're out of here. You guys take care. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.